give esteem and praise and honor to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And go to John 5 and 39. Search the scriptures. In them you think you have eternal life. There they which testify of me. You will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, and you receive me not. And if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe but receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There was one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise the Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Come on, sis. Revelation 5 and 1. Peace, brother Omar.
I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong Malachim proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?" Mm-hmm. And no man in Shamaim, nor on the earth, nor on the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Mm-hmm. And I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. Mm-hmm. One of the elders said unto me, "Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof." Mm-hmm. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 ruachs of Elohim sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. When he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of saints. And they sung a new song, saying, "You are worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For you were slain and have redeemed us, Elohim, by your blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and have made us unto our Elohim kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth."
That's good, man. Go to Zechariah 4. Zechariah 4 and 1.
And the Malachim that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, "What see you?" And I said, "I have looked, and behold, a candlestick, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, the other upon the left side thereof." So I answered and spake to the Malachim that talked with me, saying, "What are these, my Lord?" Then the Malachim that talked with me answered and said unto me, "Know you not what these be?" And I said, "No, my Lord." Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, "This is the word of Yahuwah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my ruach, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you shall become a plain. He shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it." Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, "The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house.
Laid the foundation.
His hands shall also finish it. You shall know that Yahuwah of hosts hath sent me unto you. For who have despised the day of small things, for they shall rejoice and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7.
Yep.
They are the eyes of Yahuwah, which run to and fro through the whole earth."
Yep.
Then answered I and said unto him, "What are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, and upon the left side thereof?" And I answered again and said unto him, "What be these 2 olive branches, which through the 2 golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves?" And he answered me and said, "Know you not what these be?" And I said, "No, my Lord." Then said he, "These are the 2 anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth."
Revelation 11 and 3.
"And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses. They shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. And these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the Elohim of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceed out of their mouth and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut Shamaim, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascend out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. Their dead bodies shall be in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. They that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
They did what to them?
Tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Now let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 1, man. Shalom, East, man.
"Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, and by our gathered together unto him, that you be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by ruach, nor by word, nor by a letter as from us, as at the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be
become a
revealed.
what?
Falling away first.
Okay.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who oppose and exalt himself above all that is called Elohim, or that is worshipped, so that he as Elohim sit in the temple of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim. Remember you not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And you know what withhold that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity do already work.
The mystery of iniquity do already work.
Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the rock of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Hashatam, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Elohim shall send them strong delusion.
Send them what?
Strong delusion.
Why?
That they should believe a lie. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
But what did he say after that?
But we are bound to give thanks always to Elohim for you, brethren beloved of the Lord, because Elohim from the beginning chosen you to salvation, the sanctification of the Ruach, and the belief of the truth.
So pause. So when we take into account what we've already read in Daniel 11 about him making intelligence with those who forsake the Kadash covenant, read verse 13 one more time.
But we are bound to give thanks always.
Back it up there, verse 10 then.
So with all deceivableness, unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause,
hold on. He said all the what?
With all deceivableness of unrighteousness.
Now pause. He said with all that deceivableness of unrighteousness, where can you see an example of that? Give him deceivableness. Unrighteousness is self-explanatory. Hell, deceivableness is self-explanatory, but nevertheless.
That's appetite. That's deceit or deceitfulness.
Now read that verse again.
He's saying with all deceivableness of unrighteousness.
Where is that though? No, listen. Keep going. Where is that
perish?
And in them that perish,
because they receive not the love of the truth.
So this is the question: the deceivableness of unrighteousness exists within the individual. So where you see that at? You got to go overboard with it. I'll help you out. Go to Romans 7, man. Pick me up at verse 7, man.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Elohim forbid. No, I had not known sin except the law. For I had not known lust, except the law has said, you shall not covet.
What else?
But sin, taken occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. For without the law, sin was dead.
But what happened?
For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died.
But what else, though?
And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
Go ahead.
For sin, taken occasion by the commandment, deceived me.
It did what?
Deceived me.
Okay, now
by it slew me.
He say, what happened, man?
And by it slew me.
No, before that.
Say, for sin, taken occasion by the commandment, deceived me.
It did what to you?
Deceived me.
Now, Quran just mentioned it because the first place that came to your mind was the garden. Because see, it's not only that Satan that deceived her, but her desires deceived her as well. You know what I'm talking about? But it's not the focus on Eve. Read verse 10 in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10. It's just for a scriptural example of what he's saying.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and then that perish.
So see, if you have a lot of unrighteousness in you, it will deceive you. And therefore, because of it, you won't receive the truth. Do me a favor and read me Proverbs 17 and 9. Let me make sure that's what it is, though. Go ahead, sir.
So he that cover a transgression seek love.
Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. This is a passage we just went over not too long ago. That passage ain't it. That whole chapter ain't in this book. It's verse 4.
A wicked doer give heed to false lips, and a liar give ear to a naughty tongue.
Right. Read that again.
Say a wicked doer give heed to false lips.
A wicked who do what?
Give heed to false lips.
And a
liar give ear to a naughty tongue.
See, when you already a wicked doer and you a liar, then sin already gonna deceive you because you already deceived inwardly. So read 2 Thessalonians 2:10. Don Joanne.
So with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
That they might be saved. So this is the main thing. Let's take it a step further. Psalm 58:1. Oh, that was Proverbs 17:4. Don Joanne, where's she at? Come here, Joanne. Mommy in there. Somebody open that door for us. In there. In there, Joanne. Come on, Simone.
Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O you sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
They are estranged from the what?
From the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
They go astray as soon as they be born. Speaking what?
Speaking lies.
What else though?
Say the poison is like the poison of a serpent. They're like the death adder.
The poison is like the what?
The poison of a serpent.
Well, what's the poison of a serpent? Give me poison, man. The characters and all.
That is, okay, Mom, you got heat, rage, hot displeasure, indignation, anger, wrath, poison. You got cot, meme, and hay.
Cot, meme, and hay. Now, notice what that definition said, right? What it is for the poison of a serpent.
And one of them got cot, meme, and olive.
This is Psalms 58:4, right? I want you to go to Revelation 12 and 5. You can make it 1, actually. Now, you look at poison, right? Kama, cot, meme, and hay. You got anger or wrath, venom or poison, burning anger or rage. Now, this is the thing that we'd have to sit back and look at. What did we read in Daniel 11 about this man? Now, we get into these seals because we'll deal with these seals. I'm referring to this back to the 2 witnesses because of the anger that they had. And again, taking it back because we see the framework of Moses and Elijah with him. Pharaoh had hot displeasure with Moses because they sought to kill them people. That's how they got drowned in the Red Sea. Yeah, Jezebel had indignation with Elijah because she sought to kill him. You know what I'm talking about? After he slaughtered all the prophets of Baal and so on and so forth. So remember, you read that he's going to make intelligence with those who have indignation against the Kadash covenant, but also says that he has indignation against it. And that's his poison. His poison in this instance is his anger or his hatred for God. You know what I'm talking about? But take us back to 2 Thessalonians 2:10 because of the deceivableness of unrighteousness that's in him. Shalom, brother Marvin, man. Come on with it, bud. I seen you said the garden, Jessica. 12:1.
Saying there appeared a great wonder in Shamaim, a woman clothed with the sun and moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. There appeared another wonder in Shamaim, and behold, a great red serpent.
Great way what?
Serpent.
What did he do?
Having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. His tail drew the third part of the stars of Shamaim and did cast them to the earth. And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child.
Now, this is the Lord that he's referring to. Now, look at what this serpent seeks to want to do to this man child.
Okay, and her child was caught up unto Elohim into his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Elohim, that they should feed her for 1,260 days. And there was war in Shamaim. Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in Shamaim. And that great serpent was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world.
Now, the Hebrew word for serpent is nakash. You know what I'm talking about? You know what that word means by definition? Besides serpent. Well, Johnny don't know what that word means. You know what that word means, Civic, besides serpent? It's a little variation to the word, man, but it can relate to a charmer, an enchanter, if you will. You know what I'm talking about? But keep on going. Give him the definition of serpent right that over.
serpent is Ophis. You got a snake, a serpent. Where it says, with the ancients, the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Yahudim as the devil.
You know what I'm saying? A cunning and wisdom. You know what I'm talking about? Using a little enchanting, a little enticing. Now keep on going because we want to come back to Psalms 58 and 4 in a moment.
Saying, I heard a loud voice saying in Shamayim, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused him before our Elohim day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony.
Slow, brother.
And they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice.
Hold on, read that again. Read that part again.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Go ahead.
Therefore rejoice, you Shamahim, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Having that, and see, that's where you see that poison in it, that wrath. Why he got great wrath? What did he say?
Because he know that he had but a short time.
He ain't got but a short time.
And when the serpent saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman.
He did what?
Persecuted the woman.
Now come back to Psalm 58 and 4, and now we look at it and see how the poison is like that poison of a serpent, that anger. Now we're gonna get to that word charmer, and that's the word I'm referring to when you look at serpent, that they're similar. One is nakash for serpent, the word for charmer is lakash. You know what I'm talking about? But go ahead, man.
So the poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stop her ear.
That do what?
That stop her ear.
Go ahead.
Say, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O Elohim, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yehuda.
Go ahead.
Let them melt away as waters, which run continually. When he bend his bow to shoot his arrow.
Let them be what?
As cut in pieces.
As a snail.
Which melt. Let every one of them pass away.
Like the what?
Untimely birth of a woman.
That they might not what?
See the sun.
Stop. That man say he want the wicked to die like a woman when she have a miscarriage. That's how serious that is. You know what I'm talking about? Now, where we was at before that? We was dealing with the deceivableness of unrighteousness, indeed. So when we're dealing with the mystery of iniquity, you have this man who is has a hidden counsel with contempt and disobedience to the word. Now you have individuals who are already deceived inwardly, so therefore they're already going to be deceived by their own lust in the first place, right? That's why we read Romans 7. Now we're sitting back looking at this because this is why he has so much anger. When we take it back and go look at what that is in Proverbs 27:26, listen what it says.
Just a quick question for you on that Revelation 12. That's an end time prophecy, right? Of the old vision.
Not the first half.
When he gets thrown down.
Not the first half. He already thrown down. See, go back for him. Pick it up at verse 1 and take it step by step.
I think that was more like
Oh no, he already thrown down. He been thrown down. That's why Peter told you better watch for him. He going forward throughout the whole earth, to and fro, looking who he may devour. But I'm gonna show you the key component where you know he already been tossed down. Run verse 1.
Run that Job, he wasn't tossed down at that time. He didn't have it.
No, he finna show you. Go ahead.
I'm saying there appeared a great wonder in Shamaim, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
This is similar to what you seen Joseph dream. Go ahead.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth.
So Paul, she being with what?
Child cried, travailing in birth.
And what happened?
Pain to be delivered.
And what happened?
And there appeared another wonder in Shamaim.
What was that?
And behold, a great red serpent having 7 heads and 10 horns.
What he want to do?
7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of Shamaim.
And what else?
And did cast them to the earth. And a serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered.
And what he want to do?
For to devour her child.
Stop. Now I say the serpent wants to devour this child. So shalom, Sister Kelly. Where you see that at in the book? It said this serpent wants to devour this man child as this woman is about to be delivered. Not only that, but you got that also with the Egyptian midwives because they wanted to kill the Hebrew children then. You know what I'm talking about? And then Herod want to turn around and do it again. So he wants to consume this man child before it's born. But you see this, he say he's seen a vision in heaven. What do we recall from Psalms 19? He done forgot. What do we recall from Psalms 19? Help him out. Psalms 19:1.
The heavens declares the esteem of Elohim, and the firmament show his handiwork.
The firmament show is what?
His handiwork.
And what else?
Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night show knowledge.
Show what?
Show knowledge.
Oh.
There's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard.
Oh.
Their line is going out through all the earth, their words to the end of the world.
The words go out to what?
To the end of the world.
Now go back to Revelation 12, man. Whatever verse that say you seen a vision in heaven. What verse that is? What verse that is, man? Revelation 12 and what?
I know it's a great wonder.
Well, yeah, great wonder. Give him wonder by definition. Probably gonna be different than the Hebrew word for wonder, pelah, or the mo faith that we read last night.
This is Simeon. This is a sign or mark or token.
This is a sign or a marker. So he see the sign in heaven. You know what I'm talking about? This is what he's looking at. But he's seeing that sign in heaven playing out. He's seeing the gospel play out. But John don't know that. This has already went down, though, obviously, because this man-child has already been born. Continue, though, good sir.
He said, there appeared a great wonder in Shamaim, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. There appeared another wonder in Shamaim.
What's that?
A great red serpent, having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns.
Now pause. Heads. Now go to Proverbs 27 and 26, because this would be in line with Proverbs 27 and 26.
The lambs are for your clothing, and the goats are the price
29 and 26 then. I ain't want those 27. Then one on. Let me tell you that the just are an abomination to the unjust.
It said many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment come from Yahuwah.
Every man's what?
Judgment come from Yahuwah.
Now that goes back to the conversation we were having about you have vessels made for honor and you have vessels made for destruction. Because every man's judgment come from Yahuwah. You know what I'm talking about? See what word for judgment is used right there, man.
Mishpat.
Everybody's deciding factor and sentence come from him. Continue though.
An unjust man is an abomination to the just.
And the just.
And he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked.
Pause. So this serpent finds this woman and her man-child to be an abomination unto him, an offense to his sensibilities, if you would. Return back to Revelation 12. And it's always going to be like that. I think Paul wrote that in the epistle to the Galatians when he was like, the children of the flesh persecute the children of the spirit as it is this day. Which goes back to what's in your law when he tell you that there be enmity between the woman's seed and the serpent's seed. Which is kind of what Revelation 12 is alluding to. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, some of the elements are on the back end and some of it are during the Lord's time period. I would say the first part is his time period. The back end is a time we ain't seen yet. Go ahead. Revelation 12 and 4.
Saying his tail drew the third part of the stars of Shamaim and did cast them to the earth. And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Soon as it was born, which takes us back to Exodus and Matthew, or what they were doing to devour the man children. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of what you see in this world now, especially on the internet. But all these women who hate men and say that, men are this and men are that, because they want to destroy the man child. Make him more docile. Make him more less resistant. They don't know that that's what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about? Because they've been programmed by somebody else to program him to not push back. Like I think, like my dog been be talking about, people gonna riot. People not gonna riot in this country. People in this country ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's mainly not because people are cowards per se, but because they're apathetic. You know what I'm saying? You're comfortable. So when you're apathetic and comfortable, you're not going to be engendered to overthrow the apple cart if you would. And you know why that's the case? Because before you would have to go do X, Y, Z. You want some food, you can order it and nigga drop it to your door. I'm talking about you don't even got to go to the grocery store no more. You ain't got to go to the restaurant no more. And that was already convenience in and of itself. You know what I'm talking about? Now you have a multitude of ways of technology that make your life easier. So when you have all these things, and the reality, what it does is it in some people's minds, it's going to marginalize the importance of a man. Then when that happens, now they're going to want to feminize that man. You know what I'm talking about? Now we're going to need this man to operate, think, move, and feel like a woman. Then when he operates, thinks, and feels and moves like a woman, then I can easily manipulate, dictate, and control society however the way that I see fit, because the men are no longer a threat to me because I have them neutralized. You know what I'm saying? You seen the reel when they were clowning cuz with his nails painted? That's an example of that. Whatever that was, yeah, you were clowning cuz got a full nail set on. But that's an example of that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that to call Buddy no homosexual. That's an example of that's what that does. You know what I'm saying? You say true in the case of Bad Bunny. I don't know much about Bad Bunny other than I saw him on a wrestling event a couple times. So I'm going to take your word on that, Emma, that he must be feminized. You know what I'm saying? But you see this man with the nail on, you thinking, oh, that's not a big deal. Or that's just him. But it is a big deal because it's not just him. That perpetuates in every area of this society of how they want men to think and behave. And because most men are thirsty and are driven for the validation and the acceptance of women, they will conform themselves to particular behavior if that means women will accept them. Because what I seen a dude say the other day, man, I think the nigga said something about if women wanted certain type of haircuts, every dude would get. But it's a lot of men who think that way because a lot of dudes would. Or like we were talking about what Bud Crawford said to Channing Crowder when he was like, I sell my soul for $100 million. And he was like, and that's you. And that says a lot about your character. But it's a lot of people like that. The sad part is that Crowder's point of view of every man has a price is not an invalid point of view because most people do have a price. You know what I'm saying? Most people will sell themselves out for the right amount of money. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't never been offered the right amount of money. Most people's values and principles will go out the door if the check big enough or that briefcase got enough cash in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm be honest with you, most people's price ain't even that high. Yeah, they price that high when they ain't having conversation with it. It's a whole nother thing if it's right there in their face. Most people's price ain't even that high. I think most people will sell themselves out for less than 6 figures. Cash, that is. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't saying you got to do no freaky deaky type of junk. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying sell yourself out. And whatever that might look like. Most people's price ain't that high. Oh, I know he performing at the Super Bowl in a dress. Oh, that's crazy. Say modern day life has made most people forget what it's like to struggle, persevere, and economically endure. No, they ain't forgot how to economically endure because niggas poor out here. You know what I'm saying? People just be lying. You know what I'm talking about? I think somebody, I seen a lady again yesterday say that, oh, $100,000 is normal. Everybody makes that. Oh, what world you live in? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't live in the world with the rest of us. Because everybody don't make that. Especially when you talk about taxes. Man, I just seen an NFL player, man, I didn't say he got like 70 million and they took 34. Bro, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, I ain't been paying attention to that. They said they make a nail polish on men, a trend. Like it's cool. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. White boys been wearing nail polish since the 90s. You know what I'm talking about? Black nail polish more often than not. They've been doing it. I don't know when niggas started doing it or why they started doing it. Because, what is that? Oh, Young Thug, he the reason. Because I noticed they ain't getting black nail polish like them white boys. Them boys getting designs. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, that's them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas coming out. What y'all niggas got? Active bladders? Slow on, Brother Marcus, man. You know what I'm saying? But it be subtle because it's just to make weaker and weaker men. You know what I'm saying? With less resolve. But I do know because I've heard too many dudes say it my entire life that they feel like if women desire certain things, then dudes would become that because dudes be thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why they keep perpetuating the male loneliness epidemic. But I think everybody lonely because these women be on the internet crying why they can't get no man. I don't see no dudes crying about why they can't get no woman. I see the reverse of what they do. I see them ridicule women that they want who wouldn't want them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of be like I don't understand the aspect of if a woman's a stripper, why are you ridiculing her for being a stripper if you don't want a stripper? I don't want you anyway, so I don't really care what you're doing. talking bad about her to me serves no purpose other than you probably really wanted a stripper and you mad because she won't talk to you or you can't afford her. You know what I'm saying? Because human beings ain't necessarily meant to be separate like that. Everybody don't have the mental and spiritual makeup for that, but most dudes is thirsty. You know what I'm saying? If there came a time period where women say we only want to talk to dudes with skirts, I would say probably about 45% of men would start wearing skirts if they thought that would get them some vagina. I'm going to keep it 50-50. It could be higher. I'm telling you, most dudes ain't got no morals. They thirsty. You know I ain't lying. And you know I ain't lying. And you know I ain't lying. And you know I ain't lying. Because we've been around too many dudes, boy. There's too many dudes go for a whole bunch of stuff to have access to sex. I done seen it happen. I've had people tell me I started smoking crack so I could have sex with this woman. She offered it to me. I wanted to have sex with her, so I smoked it. Straight up. We talked about that the other day. Bobby Brown didn't get Whitney Houston on drugs. She got him on drugs. Yeah, women get him on it because dudes be thirsty. Man, let me tell you something, man. You can never, peace, brother Joseph, man. You can never get in trouble in life if you're not thirsty. This ain't got nothing to do with a woman being bad or good. This got something to do with niggas being thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So when you thirsty, you'll compromise yourself. You know what I'm saying? They seeing it now. What you see people talking about now, they want niggas to be emotional, ain't it? And be emotional this and emotional that. Well, in the process of you doing that, you're going to have to sacrifice some of your manhood in the process to do it. Now, what parts of your manhood you sacrifice, I don't know. But I know you're going to have to sacrifice some of it. And you know why we know that, Cindy? Why we know that? I'm talking about out this book. Why do we know that? You say, Par, you smoke crack for yams? Yes. When I used to sell drugs, I used to ask all my customers what made them want to smoke crack. And I wasn't asking that to be fun. I told y'all this before. I was genuinely interested in what led you down this road to want to use this. And almost every man told me, now white people, this particular answer for white people is exclusive to them, that they were druggies. You had some segment, they were druggies. They like doing drugs. They like trying drugs. People brought drugs. Let me see. Nigga, bring some lean, let me try it. You bring some Percocets, let me try it. You got some Coke, let me try it. You got this here, let me try it. That's a druggie. They'll try anything. Some told me that they did not want to deal with reality, and that was their escape from reality. And a lot told me it was a woman. You know what I'm saying? They was with a woman. She was on that. And 9 times out of 10, a dude probably gave her that to make her, lower her sexual inhibitions. Then she probably got hooked on it. And now this is what she do. And you want to be with her. So now you doing it so you can have access to her body because you ain't got no self-esteem. Because you letting somebody convince you to use cocaine. If I got to use cocaine to have access to your body, I don't even want that. Matter of fact, if you pulled out crack, I'm already disgusted. But you know why that don't matter? Because you had young niggas, and you know I ain't lying, who trick with crackheads all the time and brag about it. You know what I'm talking about? And one thing I told you I ain't never seen in all my days is a woman trick with a crackhead. I ain't never seen a woman like, well, I'm going to give him $40 for some wee-wee. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never heard a woman consider it. I'm talking about the few women I knew who sold drugs. But almost every dude I knew who sold drugs, the common thought process was, shoot, trick with a basin. I like, well, I want my money. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do with, well, I'm not that pressed. I want my money, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like this here, depending on where you was at, man, you be in certain places, bro, and you look at some of them crackheads, you hitting that. Man, we remember we used to have this white chick used to trick out our spot, man. You know what I'm talking about? And dude come around there like 2 days in the morning talking about, that's your old lady. I say, go ahead on, bro. You know what you came here for. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and spend that 40 or 50 you finna spend with her because she finna turn around and spend it with me. But you know why dudes feel like that? Because they be wifing up crackheads. At least on Atlantic Beach they were. Not everybody, but there was a few. A couple of them had babies from a crackhead. You know what I'm talking about? It is, because that means you would hit a crackhead raw. So you extra wild. You know what I'm talking about? You extra wild. Then you got some people who had people who, if you didn't know that they were on controlled substances, you would, you know what I'm saying? But nah, but I want my money, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I want my money. He said you was a druggie, but I never went near crack or heroin. You say, my mate's mom was a smackhead and warned you off them. Plus, I seen the mess smacking crackheads ended up in, so no thanks. See, Karan ain't know he was a druggie. But see, druggies do that. Not every druggie ain't gonna try everything. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some got limits. Like, no, I'm gonna stop right there. But druggies usually try anything, and that's how it happens. But do you know why you can't? If you are dealing with your emotions as a man, you have to sacrifice your masculinity. Do you know what passage in the text that we would be needing to look at? I'm speaking this from the framework that godliness is the epitome of masculinity. So therefore, dealing in your emotions in that capacity would mean that you won't be operating that optimum godliness. You ain't got no idea. It's in the epistle letter now. I'm trying to narrow it down for you. Now, I'm not speaking in the aspect of you don't have no emotions, but I don't think that people don't even, I've been saying this for years, I've been paying attention to it, the over pushing of people dealing with be emotional this, be emotional that, have emotional this, emotional that. That's not by accident. You know what I'm saying? You should have yourself emotionally regulated, but a lot of this stuff, man, that stuff not by accident. Because it's a part of a feminization of men. I remember when I first came home from prison, I was watching something on HBO, and I remember that dude say, it's the wussification of America. I'll never forget that long as I live, man. This was 2009. He was in some school. I think it was like the kids were playing dodgeball with no ball. And I remember that white dude said it was the wussification of America. And you see it now because most of these dudes are very, very weak-minded. And when I say weak-minded, I'm talking about they don't have people don't have the cognitive ability to deal with any type of struggle, adversity, or anything of the sort, any type of discomfort. You know what I'm saying? You know, another instance that I believe that's a ruined society is the thought process of, if it don't serve me, I'm leaving. Any manner of discomfort, you don't have the ability to wade through it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what most people do. Discomfort comes, I'm out of there. Which is part of the reason why I shared that what Pharrell said, which I agree with. Your children should struggle. But he said it should be a guided struggle. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be the struggle that most of us are accustomed to, but it should be they got to have the ability, you know, struggle gives you the ability to critically think. Struggle gives you the ability to problem solve. You know what I'm saying? Struggle gives you the ability to understand your own level of mental and intestinal fortitude. When you don't have that, when you face with any type of adversity, you're going to crumble because you're unaccustomed to it. Which is why a lot of black folks, at least in my time, always believed that if black people were poor and got rich and went back poor, they would be able to maintain themselves. But a white man who went poor, he would probably kill himself because he's never had that level of discomfort. Now, of course, when you get older, you find out that most of these white folks ain't got no money like that. You know what I'm talking about? But the premise still is not faulty in certain circles because they can't handle it because they never had any struggle in their lifetime. You know, people equate struggle to something bad. Struggle is nothing but the ability to come through adversity. Struggle don't mean what people make it to mean because they want to go to the extremists of extremes. And that's why people say, I don't want no struggle this, and you don't want no adversity. Because in adversity is when your character is shown and you really don't want your character to be shown. You know what I'm talking about? That's why everybody pushing on. You got most niggas saying they want a soft life. I'm talking about not just women to my period. We ain't never had no soft life. And I'm talking about in a mass majority. Our lives ain't never been soft. So I don't even know where we get this mind frame from. I do know where we get it from. You want to emulate Caucasians. Because they're the standard bearer in your mind. You don't put them on a pedestal. Nevertheless, he said weed was the worst for me. I couldn't go without it. I was addicted. Praise Yahuwah that got free from that to follow him. You was addicted to weed? They was spraying something on that weed. You was addicted to weed before? God damn.
Weed different from your time to our time.
Yeah, it was real weed. You know what I'm talking about? Huh? No, I enjoy it because I stopped plenty of times. Who? When I went after that real estate license to get that bread, I ain't smoked nothing. Because one thing about it, If you talking about money or weed, I want the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put my objectives behind weed. I didn't have to smoke every day. I chose to smoke every day.
Right. I'm making the call.
Look, and see, when you addicted to something, you go crazy without it. I ain't never went crazy without no weed. We ain't got no money. We ain't smoking. Straight up, well, I seen some niggas go pull some stunts to go get some weed. I done seen niggas sell textbooks. You know what I'm talking about? All that. Plasma is the worst. I ain't going to sell no plasma for no weed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we young, we getting money, we gonna smoke. But we ain't got no money, then we ain't smoking. But boy, when it came time to, boy, we gotta do this right here, and you can't smoke, then I'm not finna smoke. Because this is not important. This is recreation. This is what I like to do for fun. But when it come down to, I need to get this accomplished, man, bump that weed. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was in prison, that was a pure act of defiance. I'm finna smoke all through this hoe. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down, all through this hoe. I wouldn't give a damn. Bump you cracker. What you gonna do? Lock me up? I'm already locked up. That's what they call you when they put you in the box. We gonna lock you up. I'm already locked up. You gonna lock me up in the lockup? I'm already here. He said, yeah, a lot of people didn't see the underplay for that whole toxic masculinity push. I peeped it early and fought against it from day one. Oh, he said he couldn't sleep without it. Now that's when you know when. Now all jokes aside, that's when you know you is addicted to something, when you have a physical dependency for it. Like you can't eat unless you smoke. You can't go to sleep unless you smoke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a problem. Weed or not, I was going to bed. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm going to bed. It's over with. Yeah, it's over with. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Now I tell you what was worse. The tobacco was worse. Cause that was some junk like, hey man, that nicotine got you like, boy, I need a cigarette. I need a black. No, because you got a chemical dependency in your brain, especially if you do it. Like when I smoke tobacco at set times. It wasn't no, like how some people just smoke cigarette after cigarette. Like, okay, I get up in the morning. I probably smoke one after I eat. No, they ain't my baby. Who baby? You know what I'm saying? Or like if I would walk around, move around, nigga smoke on while, you know what I'm saying, while you're moving. You know, smoke after a J. Then if you ain't got none, that's what you think about it. It's the habit and the nicotine already in you. Because nigga lied to you and tell you to boost your high, but it was really the nicotine. Because I remember Fat Boy asked me that. He said, what you smoke tobacco for? What you get out of that? Not a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? That junk is a habit. There's no, he was in there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's no, you ain't getting not no tobacco. Nigga, I got my wine black. Nigga, that junk don't taste good. That junk don't taste good, man. That don't serve no purpose. You say during the pandemic, you was taking edibles to go to sleep at night and relax. It helps me with anxiety. Well, that's different. Now, I ain't gonna lie. It probably is a lot of niggas who probably needed to smoke weed to go to sleep because they probably did have anxiety disorders and they just didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even being funny about that. Cause shoot, I talked to my brother the other day and he was like, a couple months ago, he was like, he had to get checked for anxiety disorder because he think that junk run on my daddy's side of the family. He said, you heard some of the weed out here now could be laced with fentanyl. They do that because my homeboy said he definitely bought some weed that had fentanyl in it and he had to go to the ER. That's why I'm glad I stopped smoking a while ago. It's getting wild out here. The amount of chemicals they use on weed over here is crazy. The fact that niggas is putting fentanyl on weed is ridiculous. Like, why would you put fentanyl on marijuana? That's why I'm glad I don't smoke either, boy. Because nigga been undied out here. And if I didn't die, I'm going to prison because I'm finna go find that nigga and kill him. You put fentanyl on the weed, bro? That's crazy. You say, you don't smoke nothing now, praise y'all. Well, that's good, man. Say you wasn't too bothered about cigarettes. I smoked them mostly when I was drinking. But I needed that weed. Yeah, I ain't never do no drinking. He said he needed that weed, man. He said, I can't go without that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because, you know, when we were young, man, the amount of weed we smoked was definitely, you talking about weed laced with embalming fluid? Oh, they didn't lace that. They put that on them. Niggas don't smoke with embalming fluid no more. They do that up your way?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that told you niggas used to do that down here. You know if it's got embalming fluid on it because it give off a weird smoke. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with niggas who used to smoke embalming fluid. They'll take that cigarette and dip it in that embalming fluid and smoke it. I ain't never want to get that high. See, that's exactly how you got into tobacco. Cousin told me it'll boost your high. That's a lie told across the country. Yeah, they be lying. Give me Galatians 5 and 22, man.
Except but the fruit of the Ruach is love, joy, shalom, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Go ahead.
And they that are Mashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
Remember, we talked about that. Remember what we give them affections by definition one more time, man. When you delve into emotions, that's how you sacrifice parts of your manhood, because you're gonna have to sacrifice parts of godliness, because that's not supposed to be crucified.
Talking about that, which ones suffer or has suffered externally a suffering, misfortune, calamity, evil, affliction.
You reading the definition for affection? I don't think I remember. Might be lust then. Read that one.
It's a few of them, but they got one of an inward state, an affliction, passion.
That's it. Passion, your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You have to crucify them. I'm only mentioning that, you know what I'm saying? Not that you don't have emotions, not that you ain't gonna feel them, but when I'm talking about a society that is instructing men specifically to lead head first with them. You know what I'm saying? And to be in tune with them. There's no way you could be of a Mashiach and do that. So you're gonna have to sacrifice pieces of your manhood. Now, what pieces of that manhood are, I can't answer that. Because that's gonna be individual to each man, to be honest with you. I don't know why these people be on here scamming all the time. You think be on here talking about I'm looking for a sugar baby on Clubhouse? Yeah, man, look at man. You got people on Clubhouse, man. You'll get about maybe 10 to 15 friend requests every day. They used to do it on Facebook, but I guess they got off of that. Especially them African niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Go and say, you know, I'm looking for a sugar baby. Send me your cash out. Come on, cuz. Or they come with you, hey, I got $10,000, you know, you just send me 3. Come on, cuz. Or they hit you with do you want to get in Bitcoin? Anything. And there's some damn fool somewhere right now sending somebody their personal information and getting got. Hell, you talking about, man, I don't even know you. Now they come with a difference. I seen your profile. And you ain't seen nothing. What's wrong with you? I just be wondering who fall for this stuff. You ain't fall for this stuff. Civic section. I don't want to talk to nobody anyway. But they be doing it. Look, I'm finna show you this. They do. Listen, it is right there. Hello, I'm very interested. I'd like you to be my sugar baby. Indeed, I'm gonna spoil you with money, which is $7,000 for weekly allowance. I'm gonna get you paid weekly. Not interested in nudes or naked pictures.
I said I don't even need nothing.
Me say her egg donor did it. Sent photo of her license and all. She should have got. You send a nigga picture of your license. That's greed. Trying to tell you, and those people probably low. You know what I'm talking about? But now, all jokes aside, that really take to the point that how Satan come at people, because he gonna play into your greed, into your desires. That's where the deceivableness of unrighteousness come in at, because you looking to deceive yourself in the first place. Because can't nobody hit my inbox that I do not know on any platform, period, talking about I need a sugar baby, I got some money for you. Nigga, I don't even know you. You know about this scam they used to do. Nigga hit you up talking about I need my house clean. You know what I'm talking about? I'm out of town. I'm in the hospital. Nigga want to send you a check. You cash that check, your account is compromised. You know what I'm talking about? You done got one of them before? One time I did that jump so the nigga go to jail. I said, yeah, send that jump. Went around there, I said, hey man, this nigga sending bad checks, you need to get it. I
Somebody
said,
messaged me about that too, like for a pressure washing job.
yeah, they cause guess what? Cause your business public record. It's out there. Nigga will see if you're a goofy. All those aside, it's to play into your lust. How greedy are you? How covetous are you? How desirous you are for something? Cause but you gonna send me a fake check, nigga? I don't even know how that type of scam works. Cause if the check bounced, how you get that money out of that? Cause the check gonna bounce, nigga, it ain't real. And you definitely might go to jail. Cause they gonna feel like, why you brought this around here? You knew it was fake. Cause that's what my homeboy used to do. They used to get his goof behind too. Come on, Sylvia, come back to Revelation 12. What's up, man? It's eye level for you, huh? Say your aunt on her fifth Facebook account talking to them people. Lord have mercy. Oh, she was holding it at that, but she was the type to do schemes with insurance to get money. You was never on that. Everybody be scheming because you know why people be scheming? Because they poor. So you always feel like, you know, this harebrained scheme will work. Shoot. Truth be told, that's why they put sports gambling everywhere. And I hope you niggas, hey man, shoot, before you had to come to Vegas and do it. Now we let you do it from your house. And then Florida got a straight racket because you can't gamble with nobody but Hard Rock. You can't use no other sports book but Hard Rock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the difference is like before, right? You had to either go to the casino and place a bet, you know, or you're dealing with, you know, quote unquote bookies. But now that it made it simple, man, you can place a bet taking a dump. Place a bet walking down the street, in between sets at the gym. That's what they want you. I seen a dude did a video about how they do stuff with them video games. He's like, them video games ain't like what they was when we were younger, where you had to play a game to beat it. They got all this in-game stuff and in-game purchases to keep you playing. You know what I'm saying? So now you keep playing and you keep buying stuff, we make money and your brain turned to mush. Because you don't need you to be serious about trying to beat Mega Man or Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? He don't know, but he know about Mega Man, huh? You played that, huh? He know about that. He said that's got to be a Florida thing regarding to them fake checks. I can't speak on it because I ain't been to no other state to know. He said they scared of fake checks in Texas. I don't know, boy. But shoot, nigga, definitely the nigga I told the nigga, I said, you send that check, you going to jail. He was from Texas. You say you hate pay to win. I do sports bet, but I hate to play to win anything. I ain't mad at niggas who bet. You know, that ain't shit, but I'm just talking about the science behind it. Because more people going to lose than are going to win. You know what I'm saying? And it's more so to have you, son, it's on your phone. So this is 24-hour access every single solitary day. You know what I'm talking about? And they're hoping that you have compulsive behavior. Yeah, that stuff ain't by accident. You notice how no sports allow betting and now all of them do it? And this ain't even in like it was 30, 40 years ago. These teams didn't allow sports betting like this 10 years ago. Then all of a sudden, boom, everybody bet. And now they got you betting on everything. How many rebounds this nigga gonna get? You know what I'm saying? How many times he gonna fall on the floor? Man, Fanatics put some junk on there talking about place a bet on see where what song Bad Bunny gonna perform first. Yeah. So you don't see bookies going bankrupt? I definitely don't. I guess it's better the sports books than the mob, I guess. Come on, Sid, back to Revelation 12. He said the one app where you can bet if it'll rain or not. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not by accident. You know what I'm saying? Because most people don't have self-control. Especially don't let yourself win. You know how this time I've seen story about dudes go to the casino, you win $50,000, $60,000 and you don't get your goofy behind up and go home. I can double it. and you leave with nothing. You dummy. At the most, you supposed to cash out, and if I'm gonna keep on betting, I'm gonna bet what I started with. If I started with a stack and turned it into 50, I'm finna take my 49 racks. I'll keep gambling with this 1,000. I ain't talking about keep it on that. No, I'm finna go actually get my $49,000. You finna get my money, and I'm finna go put that money up, and then I'm gonna come back with 1,000. But then we just gonna try to flip off what I started with because I came in saying I'm willing to lose $1,000. I just made 49,000. Why would I keep going off the 49,000? Because they're gonna beat you every time. You know what they used to say in the street? You used to shoot dice. No, I know you ain't shooting goddamn dice. You shot dice? You used to shoot dice? You shot dice? I know you look like niggas shoot dice. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about be out there with them niggas. But what them niggas tell you when you shooting dice, man? The nigga go to lose and he got more money than you. Every time, because you know what they tell you, big bank take little bank. I guarantee you I'm allowed. You can't outshoot me. You keep on shooting, you getting amped up. I already came here. What that boy Jay say, bet 50 and not dollars either. You're not gonna beat me if I say that to you. Yeah, you gotta get your money and go. You gotta go home. But guess what they don't do, little Johnny? They don't go home. And you know what you end up doing? No. you end up losing your rent money, the car note. You know what I'm talking about? You about to sell your children stuff. Might ask your wife to prostitute, all type of stuff. Yeah, come on, man. And I'm only mentioning all that because they play into the one thing that Satan wants you to play into, and that's your desire and your passions. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to read verse 4 again.
Yeah.
Saying, "It tells you the third part of the stars of Shamim, and did cast them to the earth. And the serpent stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with the rod of iron."
See, now that's Psalms 2 when they say, "Bringing forth a man child to rule the nations with a rod of iron." Sean say, "Dice was too much luck for me. Cards was my thing." You know what we used to do when I was young, though? We used to hustle them Asian boys on the dice. And them niggas used to want to shoot dice with no money on the ground. We used to get them dummies too. Every time. CeeLo, craps, they ain't make no difference. You finna get got. You big dummy. You shouldn't have came around here. You see, like to say over there to bet sensibly and responsibly. That's what he said they say in the UK. They say that over here, bet responsibly. Ain't no responsible way to bet. Ain't no responsible way to drink. No, it ain't. Because truth be told, you know, your level of intoxication is going to be based off your body fat and your weight. So shoot, that's why some people can drink a small amount of alcohol and be extremely intoxicated. And some people are going to be extremely intoxicated, but they don't know it, and they done drunk 10 cups of alcohol. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no responsible way to it. That's how a lot of women done got the flowered out here too. I never understood why women would be so simple to take drinks from a nigga. You think a nigga giving you an alcoholic beverage because he's just nice? You can't be that goddamn stupid. He hoping that the more you drink, the lesser your inhibitions is, the more pliable you are to get ramrodded. I never understood that one. Or drinking alone with strange men. Or drinking with strange men, period. Or drinking with any man that you're not intimately involved with. Drinking with strangers. You go out in public and drink and you falling all over the place, peeing behind cars. It's a damn fool wife Joe super line too. You know how embarrassing that got to be if you know you married to a woman who urinate behind a car because she intoxicated. Just to mother your children, man. You used to be peeing behind cars.
We know somebody, right?
Doris, you were peeing behind cars? Bet not. You wasn't peeing behind cars, brother.
No, I go outside. Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's even worse. I ain't gonna lie. Now, peeing behind the car is worse because you ain't got no decorum as a lady.
Peeing on yourself after that.
Peed in the cup where? And why? That's allowable. For shame. No, I know that. He say it's one Walmart parking lot. You have the smell like straight pee, probably Normandy. You know what I'm saying? That Walmart don't normally look like that parking lot smell like pee. Now Lim Turner don't strike me as it smell like pee over there. And as crazy as 103rd might look, they don't either. But Normandy though, that junk look like it smell like pee. That ain't on your end of Normandy. That ain't on your end of Normandy. That's on the end of London time. I just was over there the other day. Everybody looked like they upset. Everybody on 103rd looked like they just want to participate in nigga activities. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. D feel like Collins Road one is better. Shoot, I don't see no goddamn difference. No, I don't. I still see the same nigga crowd. I'm be honest with you. It's nigga children that go to Muffin School. It's niggas over there. A lot of niggas over there. Now you deceived yourself because you have the perception of this of 103rd. It's a lot of niggas on Collins, man. Real niggerish over there. You just lying to yourself because it's Collins. It's niggas over there. You see all them doggone peas ahead little niggas go to Muffin School, man. You think, but that's oak leaf though. I know it. Mm-mm. Yeah. It was always like that. Oh. See, I ready to do something unkind if I come. Yeah, man. It's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep being like that because niggas trying to get away from where they come from. But go ahead, man.
Saying she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto Elohim into his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
Say she was caught up. He was caught up to who?
Unto Elohim into his
So
throne.
this gives you your Acts chapter 1. This is Yahushua's ascension. You feel me? Now it says he caught up to his throne. What happened after that?
Saying the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Elohim. They should feed her there for 1,000.
Now this is going into. Give him Isaiah 16 to help him out because this was Johnny's question. We just went on the side mission for a little bit. Isaiah 16:1.
Send you the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah to the wilderness unto the mountain of the
To the
daughter
who?
of Zion.
To the
To
where?
the ruler of the land from Selah.
No. He said to the wilderness. Okay.
It said, for it shall be that as a wandering bird cast out of her nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Arnon.
Mm-hmm.
Take counsel, execute judgment, make your shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, bewray not him that wandered.
Hide the who?
Hide the outcast.
Tell them what outcast means.
That's Nadak. To impel, thrust, drive away, to banish.
So those who've been banished. Why are they banished? Because that takes us back to Daniel 11 again. But those who do know they God will do work. Go ahead. Because they're trying to corrupt them with flatteries. Go ahead.
Let my outcast dwell with you, Moab. Be you a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. For the extortioner is at an end. The spoilers cease. The oppressors are consumed out of the land.
He says, give him extortioner, man. Now this is dealing with what you're seeing with the serpent trying to oppress the woman. What you see why Revelation 12 speak of them about going in the wilderness. I'd wait till y'all remember that, but it's been a long time since we read this particular passage.
That's moots, squeezer, extortioner, oppressor.
An oppressor. So go to Daniel 7, pick it up at verse 20, so we can establish that this man is an oppressor. Obviously, we read that in Revelation 13, but we'll read it in another passage.
And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up from before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, who looked with more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against
that horn made war with the who?
With the saints.
And did what?
Prevailed against
them. And what happened after that?
Until the Ancient of Days came.
Until who came?
The Ancient of Days.
See, this is when he say the extortioner ceased, because Isaiah 16 speak about the Lamb sitting on the throne of Zion. That's what it said. Go ahead.
saying judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
Tread up the whole. Now, see, this is what people don't be looking at, because they look at, Rome didn't rule the whole earth, but they ruled the known earth for them. Now, the book is claiming that this particular individual is going to have dominion on every tongue, every people, every nation. You know what I'm talking about? Read it for him, see? Revelation 13 and 7. We good in Daniel 7. Because the Persians Nebuchadnezzar had rule, but did he have rule over the whole earth? He had, we would look at earth. Let me pause and stop that. Because when they say earth, it's not necessarily referring to the whole earth when you read it right. It's referring to the land. So then you have to look at what land did Nebuchadnezzar have rule over? All the lands in that immediate vicinity at that particular time in history. And then the Persians took it over. Because I think if my memory serves me correctly, it said that he had rule over every tongue, people, and nation. Because Nebuchadnezzar is also another son of perdition archetype, as it pertains to the story with the flute and the idol and the fiery furnace. Go ahead.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations.
Over all who?
Kindreds and tongues and nations.
That's good. This is what this man ruling over. Go back to what was that? Isaiah 16. Mm-hmm. What verse is it?
Verse 5.
Go ahead.
Saying, in mercy shall the throne be established. He shall sit upon it in the
By
truth.
mercy, what?
Shall the throne be established. And he shall sit upon it in the truth, the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hasting righteousness.
Paul. Now, this is clearly dealing with his return if he's sitting on the throne, judging and hasting righteousness. So go back to Revelation 12. That's why I told you that, John. That when you had to take that chapter step by step. What verse you in?
Verse 7.
Read me verse 6 again.
Saying, a woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place prepared of Elohim.
Pause. That's what we seen in Isaiah 16. And Isaiah 16 say that wilderness is in the land of Moab. Now, I don't know if you know off the top of your head in a mapping here, but Moab ain't that far from the land of Israel. Read them Jeremiah 50 and 1. That nigga need a period for his back. This nigga here, man. Come on, Jeremiah 50 and 1.
Say the word that Yahuwah spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare you among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Far to the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. None shall dwell therein. They shall remove. They shall depart, both man and beast. Say in those days and in that time, saith Yahuwah, the children of Yasharah shall come, with the children of Yehuda together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahuwah their Elohim.
They'll do what?
Saying, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahuwah their Elohim.
What happened after that?
They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces their words, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahuwah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
Go ahead.
My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Remember, if it's lost sheep, what that mean, the type of sheep they is. They perished. They've been destroyed. It ain't lost like we can't find them. You know what I'm saying? That's not what that word means. Go ahead.
They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that
so pause. And just reading that in regards to them coming out of the wilderness. Because it said they coming with their heads down. Weeping. What would they be weeping for? You know what I'm talking about? Matter of fact, there's a passage I can't recall. I think it's in Isaiah. Where he say they'll hear answer they call before they hear it. Because in that day, you know what I'm talking about? They're going to be so oppressed, you're going to call for them. Matter of fact, I'm really thinking about Deuteronomy 32. Read that for me. That's what I'm thinking about. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32 and 39.
See, now that I, even I am he, there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. There is none, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. If I lift up my hand and shall even say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I'll render vengeance to my enemies and reward them that hate me.
Go ahead.
I'll make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy.
Go ahead.
Rejoice, all you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people.
Go ahead.
And Moses came and spake all the words of the song in the ears. He and Hosea, the son of Nun, and Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all Yasharal.
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day, which you shall command your children to observe to do all the words of this law.
Go ahead.
For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life.
I ain't get what I wanted to hear. What verse you read?
Verse 47.
Yeah, I didn't catch what I was looking for. Where is that? Look right at it. I think I heard verse 36. That's what I want. I told you to start at 39. That's why I didn't hit what I want. Verse 36.
Say, for Yahuwah shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants when you see that their power is gone and there is none shut up.
When their power is gone. Now, you know it says the same thing in Daniel, right? You know what it say in Daniel? They say just like that? They say the Malachim lift up his hand and swear to him to heaven. Read it for him, see? 12 and 7, Daniel. And I think that's the aspect that a lot of people don't want to deal with, because just like Christians want to rapture, a lot of people do not. Again, it goes back to the point that I was referencing about what Pharrell was talking about. People do not want any type of struggle whatsoever. And again, struggle don't mean nothing but adversity, because adversity is where your character is revealed at. That's why most people who have never had any type of struggle don't deal with it very well. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I told you, like, to be told, like, shoot, any woman you deal with, you need to see how she deal with any type of trouble, any type of adversity, any type of struggle. Like I say, in struggle, see, people hear struggle and they automatically go to money, which is unfortunate. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got struggles of all types. You can see this nigga struggling in school. You know what I'm saying? How you deal with that adversity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, struggle come in many types of ways. The reason why people mind go straight to money, because that's the only thing people in this country is concerned with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you let people define what struggle is. Struggle ain't nothing but adversity. And adversity comes in a multitude of fashions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? And truth be told, you don't really know the type of woman you're dealing with until you see how she handled any adversity, period. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, people hear that, I don't want no struggle love, but hey, man, baby, every love you gonna have some manner of adversity, because that's when your character gonna get tested. Because that's going to reveal who you really are. Nobody is ever revealed when things are comfortable and good. That doesn't show me who you are. That just shows me you know how to maintain in prosperous times. You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly what makes, even though it's not prosperous in this place, that's what makes most men weak. Everything cool, I ain't got no problems. Which is why the book tell you, I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction. Let me see how you handle adversity. That's why he say the trial of your faith is more precious than gold. A lot of people don't want that test and they don't want that adversity. That's why he said, you know, you the seed amongst the stones, that when persecution or tribulation arise because of the word, by and by you are offended. You offended because now your true character has been revealed. You didn't really want nobody to know that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I think what that was, you know, the nigga with the color contacts be talking about pay for everything, but his wife divorced him. And he was talking to Goldie, man. See, some niggas don't know, you know, Goldie was a pimp. I remember that nigga from American Pimp, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm talking about? The nigga was extremely young around that time. But he would tell him, like, you know, if you lead with your bread and you buy everything for this woman and you do this, that, and the third, how you even know if that woman like you for real? Now, he was asking this man this for this aspect of, because it happened to dudes who do that all the time. When the money run out, she gone. She not finna stick around for that. You know what I'm talking about? Because, oh no, I didn't sign up for trouble. Now, I'm only mentioning that because from the verse in Matthew about the seed by the stones, because a lot of people, they told that when you with God, everything gonna be great. Then when everything not great, they end up getting mad with God because I didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sign up for you. You mean there's some sufferings involved? Whatever those sufferings may be. Read them Numbers 14 and 18. A lot of people don't, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't.
I thought he said his burden was supposed to be light.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. But guess what? But see, he said that, and then he neglect what he said, hey, man, in the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. You know what I'm talking about? He told you to be of good cheer in trouble. So where the conundrum comes in these situations is these things are not fully explained. And you know why they're not fully explained? Because I'm trying to get some money out of you. And then when I say get some money out of you, I ain't saying for the purposes of getting rich. I need you to supply whatever it is that I need you to supply. So, or I'm just incompetent in the dispersion of the word. You know what I'm saying? But that's what most people don't want. No, they want everything to be great. Shoot, you don't know the level of a man you are until you face some type of adversity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's real easy, man. Look, I give you an example because it just popped in my brain when you look at, say, adversity. You take Tom Brady, for instance, right? I go to a particular school. I want to be the starting quarterback. These people are hell-bent on making Drew Henson the starting quarterback over me. I know I'm better than him. Now, you know what kids do now in this day and age? I'm going to hit the portal and transfer out. See, they couldn't do that back then. So you either was going to quit or you was going to deal with this adverse situation and see if you have the mental and intestinal fortitude to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that is. Oh, this too hard for me. I'm going to just go over here where it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, at least on the sports side of things, you hear them people say they ain't got no dog in them, which meaning that you ain't got no hunger. You ain't driven. You ain't hungry like the werewolf of London. At the first sign of trouble, you going to crumple. Don't get that confused with dealing with stressful situations and you have a human response to it. Because, see, there's a fine line of that. Because, you know, a lot of people look at a dude and he's having a human situation and he feel like you think he's crumpling. The nigga's not crumpling. He's a human being. Because somebody would have seen the Lord and you might have thought, he's crumpling. No, he's a human being. This is a very difficult situation for me to manage right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I have some thoughts and some frustrations at this particular time because I'm a human being versus crumpling is I'm finna quit or you are constantly and incessantly complaining. You know what I'm talking about? Because don't nobody want to hear all that. Because what is complaining going to do? Hell, depending on the situation, what the hell is talking going to do? Because if ain't no talking going to be able to alleviate any type of stress or resolve the situation, what the hell are we talking about it for? You only talking about it is just reinforcing whatever it is you got going on, which will probably multiply the stress. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't realize that. You have to know what it is you're talking about. Is there a reason of talking about it? If you already know what it is in your brain, then you already know ain't no need to talk about it unless you just need to say it out loud. And that's an individual thing. You know what I'm saying? That ain't all the way across the board. That's an individual thing. Because most men in here know there's certain stuff. Talk about it for what? Nigga, I'm broke. I need some money. Now I need to come up with a plan to get some. If you ain't got no plan to get some, then what the hell are we talking about it for? Because you ain't got no information to add. I don't want to talk about how I feel. This is how I feel. I got $3. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I feel. Can you help turn the $3 into 300? And that 300 into 3,000? Ain't no emotions attached to this, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no emotions involved in this. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no, but I'm saying that being fun, but you know, a lot of ladies, they don't realize that because y'all accustomed to whoop, 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 and us, there's no emotions attached to that. This is the issue. I need to come up with a plan to fix that issue. If you don't have any information to be able to assist and help fixing that issue, what the hell am I talking about how I feel for? There's nothing to talk about. All that's going to do is compound stress because now you're going to start spitting this stuff over and over again. Now you're going to be thinking on the goddamn thing, and now you're going to stress yourself out the more with no rhyme or reason on how to alleviate the problem. What did I just do all this for? Now I need a drink. I don't even drink. You see, you can't stand when people state the obvious. Don't complain about it. What are we doing? I mean, it's different. I know, because I mean, it's different. Y'all socialize with each other. How do you feel? And you put up with a whole bunch of stuff that you probably don't even feel. That's how you feel right now. You just sit back and look at what's wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't got no money. My car broke, and I ain't got no money to fix that hoe. This Crocker keep trying me. I want to slap the fire on, but I can't because I need this job. You know what I'm talking about? You know, it's really straightforward. That's pretty straightforward. Well, how do they make you feel when you're there? Like I want to punch him in his face. He's disrespectful and a douchebag. And I'm still tripping on your man as a basketball coach, man. That's all I remember that nigga for. Yeah, that's all I remember that nigga. He had to by making that response. I'll never forget that long as I live, unless I get Alzheimer's or dementia. That nigga say my glutes. That nigga running down the court. That boy stopped. That boy say my glutes. He couldn't keep that on the hush. That boy was hurt. He stopped and then he crumpled. Come on, numbers 14 to 18. That boy crumpled. That jump was funny. I know he did. That's how everybody cramping now. Jump go to locking up. Oh, he had already had it on deck. Go ahead.
He said, Yahuwah is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity.
Oh, that's the same thing that's in Exodus 34. He's slow to wrath. He forgives sin, iniquity, and rebellion. But just because he forgives you does not mean that you will be absolved from consequences of your behavior. See, people think that forgiveness means that there are no consequences. Yahuwah will forgive you, but there are consequences. Example, David got Bathsheba pregnant, I'm going to kill that baby. And that sword going to be in your house. And I'm going to take all your wives and give them to somebody else. That's the consequence. I forgave you, but I didn't clear you. And I think that's another thing that get people upset too. They think forgiveness means no consequence. And that don't necessarily don't mean that at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's how people look at it. Because hell, the court system in America don't clear you without no consequence. And what I mean by that, if you got locked up, okay, say you bonded out, the consequence is you had to pay that bond. Whatever doggone stipulations you had with that bond, you had to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Now you had to pay for a lawyer. You know what I'm talking about? And you had to deal with that. Or if you had a public defender and you bonded out, you had to deal with the inconvenience to your life of constantly going back and forth to court. You know what I'm talking about? Or if you didn't have the money to bond out, now you got to sit in jail until the case is disposed of. So even if you got cleared, you still had a consequence. Or you sat in there and they say, take time served. Now you're a felon. You still had a consequence. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, some people don't see it as a consequence if they drop charges, because they drop charges for a multitude of reasons and not because they're merciful. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now. I don't think it's a state attorney's office, a district attorney's office in the United States of America that ever dropped a charge because they wanted to be merciful. See, Yahuwah dropped charges because he wanted to be merciful. Them crackers drop charges because they feel like I can't send you to prison. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Because if they feel like they can send you to prison, you know what they're going to do? They're going to send you to prison. Yeah, they're going to send you to prison. Oh, you talking about the part? Easy, yeah. Shoot, the children get what you do can happen to the generations after you. That's how he operates. He talking about that part where say punish to the third and the fourth generation. Yeah, look at that's not generational curses as niggas like to say in these days and times. I get sick of hearing that goddamn term. You know what I'm saying? I do, because niggas just be saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of niggas talking about generational wealth, don't know nan nigga who got it. Ain't never met a nigga who got it. Because you don't even know what that look like. You know what I'm saying? Dude was talking about that yesterday when he was talking about how people feel like, you know what I'm saying, Glorilla should take care of a whole family. And dudes were referring to known blue blood families here in America who lost that wealth, specifically the Vanderbilts, because they didn't take the track like the Rockefellers take. The Rockefeller family just don't give their people bread. You know what I'm saying? They make them take out loans or they make them work. These are like the Vanderbilt family lost their wealth because they just were passing it out. You know what I'm saying? The Rockefeller fortune is like it started in like the early 1900s, and it's 2026 and it's still here. You know what I'm saying? That's generational wealth. Because guess what? Just like they can say $2 million is not life-changing money. It's a lot of money, but it's not life-changing money. You won't start talking about life-changing money, meaning life-changing for not just you, but people after you, till you start getting into the hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Because $30, $40 million could be gone in 2-3 generations. Just like the book tell you, you can have all this bread, but who knows if you leave it to a fool? You know what person I'm talking about? He don't know what I'm talking about. Come Ecclesiastes. What verse it is then? I'm just messing with you. What book it is? No, I know you know it. I'm just yeah, come over here to Ecclesiastes 2. And you can start at 15. And that be the key part of what you don't know. Because you could bake all that bread and your grandson stupid as the day is long. And that's why Solomon about to say some of the things that he about to say. Ecclesiastes 2 and 15.
Then said I in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity. For there's no remembrance of the wise more than the fool forever.
Said don't nobody remember the wise more than they remember a dummy.
Saying that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. How died the wise man? As the fool.
He said so with days keep, because see, this is the real part that people don't want to deal with. Because in general, when you die, ain't nobody gonna remember you. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna be just a memory. Huh? You say you remember he used to push the champagne rain? Silly cat wore suede in the rain. So he put the G in game. He don't know nothing about that. You know about that? Damn, you don't know about the silly cat wore suede in the rain? You mean that kid that nearly lost half his brain over 2 bits of cocaine? That's unfortunate. Continue.
And therefore I hated life because the work that is wrought under
He said he hated what?
I hated life because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. All is vanity and vexation of spirit.
All of it.
Yeah, I had hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. And who know whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? Yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored, and wherein I have showed myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity.
This is for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine coming to that conclusion. I've been vexed in my spirit and participated in all this vanity to do all these things, and who know that I'm gonna leave all my life's labor to a wise man or a fool? Now that doesn't mean that this is what Solomon doing is something that I do regularly, which I pretty much got that from Solomon. Is having perspective. It don't mean that you can't have no labor. It's putting in perspective of what you're doing to where you don't get caught up and enamored with that. Read that again. Go back to 15. Read it again, man. Because that's some real deal stuff. Because listen, man, this be the hardest part that people want to deal with. Boy, you die, man, ain't nobody finna remember you. And what I mean by that, because the people who remember you gonna die, and ain't nobody gonna remember that they remembered you. That's why you see that in Exodus when he said there rose up a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. I don't know who that is. And the people who was alive when he rose up didn't know who Joseph was either. And that's a harsh reality of life. You know what I'm talking about? That a lot of people don't want to deal with. So you know where you want to be remembered at? You want to be remembered in heaven. Go ahead.
Then said I in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this is also vanity.
It's also what?
Vanity.
What else?
But there's no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever.
Go ahead.
Saying that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. And how died the wise man? As the fool.
As the fool.
Therefore I hated life, because the work
that man said I hated life.
The work that I wrought under the sun is grievous unto me.
He said I hated life because the work I'm doing is grievous to me.
For all is vanity and vexation of spirit.
He said everything is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Yeah, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun.
Now imagine if you labored all your life to make $30, $40 million and you hate every bit of it because of this.
because I shall leave it unto the man that shall be after me. And who know whether he shall be a wise man or a fool?
See, it's not even the fact that you leaving it to somebody. I don't know if this nigga's stupid or not. You know how many men and some women labored their whole entire life to build something, and the niggas they left it too pissed it away before they died? That's why I say niggas ain't never seen them, because it ain't too many families that even have generational wealth. Because for it to be generational, it's got to at least get to 3 generations. I ain't talking about 3 generations of people who were alive at the same time. I'm talking about passed down from this generation had it, I passed it to them, this generation had it, I passed it to them, this generation had it, I passed it to them, meaning the actual 4th generation, it's got to get passed 3 times. How many years in a generation? I don't know. So that's a better estimation. Now you can get Joel 1 and 1 because Omar mentioned Joel 1. What's it? That sounds about right.
They say generation is generally considered to be 20 to 30 years.
That sounds about right. So that time got to go 60 to 90 years.
So it represents the average time between the birth of parents and their offspring.
So you have to sit back and look at that. If you say the max, that's got to last a century. You know what I'm saying? At the max, 60 at the least. Yeah, you don't know too many families in America who done that. You know what I'm talking about? But we use it as a buzz term. Because you got damn fools telling you got generational wealth if you buy a house. A doggone liability can't be no wealth, man. That's a liability. I had a nigga tell me if you own a house, that's an asset. I say, nigga, how if it ain't making no money? He said, it is. I say, so when you pay your mortgage payment, what money are you taking out of the house? You know what that nigga told me? That nigga told me a home equity loan. I say, man, log off your phone. That's a debt. That's a debt, my boy. You gotta pay that back. You didn't make money. You didn't extract money from the asset. That's an asset for the bank. You know, asset pay you. You don't. I'm like, nah. And because he thinking somebody arguing against home ownership. I say, bro, don't be telling these people that's an asset. Assets pay you, sir. You know what I'm talking about? If you're paying into that, by definition, if you put that on your balance sheet, you know what side that's going on? Liabilities. They got no choice but to go on that side of the balance sheet. You got to put that on the red side. You can't put it on the black side. Man, this nigga crazy, man. Joel 1 and
1. The word of Yahuwah that came to Joel, the son of Pethuel. Hear this, you old men, and give ear, all you inhabitants of the land. Have this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell you your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. That which the palmer worm have left, have the locusts eaten. That which the locusts have left, have the cankerworm eaten.
That verse 3?
Verse 3 was tell you your children of it. And let
you talking about children. Yeah, I mean, and that's to tell them of God. That's the only person whose memory ain't never gonna fade away. But everybody under the sun, memory gonna fade away. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's gonna be a generation of people who never seen you. You know what I'm saying? You put it this way, man. My mama died for my children. They don't, man. Joanne don't remember her. She did initially. You know what I'm saying? But she don't remember her. It's no way possible. She'll see a photograph right now. She gonna be, who is that? But initially she'd be like, Mom. And that's just how life rolls. As time roll away and roll on, you're not going to be remembered. And that's something that because that's what most people say, right? I want to be remembered. Man, you're only going to be remembered for the time period of the people in your lifetime. Because once they start getting away from you, ain't nobody going to remember you. You know the thing that people like to scream when people go to the Hall of Fame? Now you're immortal. No, he ain't. That nigga's going to be dead. That's a bust. He's not immortal. That nigga is dead. You know how many football players played back in the day? They don't mention all them people's names. You don't know who Deacon Jones is. You don't know Dick Night Train Lane. Because they don't mention them men's name like that. They Hall of Famers, though. But if they are immortal, then you know who that is. But you don't. Hell, you barely know niggas from the 80s.
Ohio,
You don't know Roger Craig. I only mention that because he just got in. That jump was funny because he answered the door like a real black man. That boy opened the door. He said, "Ronnie Lodge." That's how you know when you know a nigga. Nigga open the door, call your whole. That really know he happy to see you too. You know what I'm saying? You know he was happy to see him because they couldn't even dap each other up. They missed the handshake like 2-3 times. That boy opened the door. The boy said, "Ronnie Lodge." But eventually they gonna forget you, man. It is what it is. But read Malachi chapter 3, verse 14, because this is where you want to be remembered at. And then we get back to Revelation 12.
You have said it is vain to serve Elohim, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yahuwah of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up.
What happened?
Yea, they that tempt Elohim are even delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Then they that feared Yahuwah spake often one to another.
And what happened?
Yahuwah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahuwah, and that thought upon his name.
Mm-hmm.
They shall be mine, saith Yahuwah of hosts. And that day when I make up my jewels, I'll spare them as a man spares his own son that serves him.
He said a book of remembrance was written before him, ain't it? My God, today. That's where you want to be remembered at. If you ain't remembered in the earth, that's cool. But if you remembered in heaven, that's better. You know what I'm talking about? Because the earth don't forget you. If God remember you, you'll never forgot. Go back to Revelation 12. Boy, calm down, boy. Go ahead. Where you started at 12? It's in about verse 7. Mm-hmm.
And there was war in Shamim. Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim and prevailed not. Neither was a place found anymore in Shamim. And the great serpent was cast out. That serpent called the devil and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in Shamim, now has come salvation and strength.
Amen, man.
And the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Now, see, where do we see where he get cast down? Now we're going to pinpoint it. Can you tell me in the Gospels the exact passage that lets you know when he got cast? Read it again, huh? And it's not I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven either.
Saying I heard a loud voice saying in Shamim, now has come salvation.
Now it's come what?
Salvation.
And what else?
And strength.
And what else?
And the kingdom of our Elohim.
And what else?
And the power of his Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night.
Where can we read where that occurred? It's not going to tell you verbatim when that occurred. He's going to speak on a specific action that necessitated this man's defeat. No. Read again, Sid. Listen closely. I heard a what?
Loud voice.
What he say?
Now has come salvation.
Now has come what?
Salvation.
And what else?
Strength.
Pause. Strength and what else?
The kingdom of our Elohim.
And then the dominion of our Elohim.
And the power of his Mashiach.
And the power of his anointed one.
So the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Now the accusing of our brethren is cast down, who accused him before the throne day and night. What are these elements we just heard? Salvation, strength, the kingdom, and the power of his anointed one. You have.
Is that what Judas cast
You got to slow your brain down. Identify all 4 things. You heard all 4 of them things, Dory? Oh, that baby moving. You read it, huh? Don't have that baby on that couch.
Ready for the over with.
Shoot, I look like that boy moving. He's been moving the whole time. Because I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
We got some experts in the house.
He knows something about birthing some babies. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. I ain't getting a damn thing. I got a phone right here. Calling people. 911. No, it's not the Lord's Prayer either. Ooh, that's all I can call is call you a medical professional. The hell I'm gonna do? You know what I'm talking about? When he was chained and cast into the fire, no man. And I ain't saying that to be funny. Ain't nothing I can do but call a medical professional. I'm not joking when I say I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. Let me get somebody in here who can help you out.
Just put it there.
I don't know nothing about birthing no baby. I can't supervise nor assist in that endeavor. Get your professional. Nobody got nothing for me? Let's look at the thing that you got to focus on. See, what we focus on is he's saying Satan cast out of heaven. But what got him cast out of heaven? Read it again, Sidney. I heard a loud what?
Voice saying in Shamaim.
And now has come.
Salvation.
And what else?
Strength.
And what else?
Kingdom of our
and what else? So
this
this is the first thing you have to pinpoint. What is the salvation of Elohim? What is the strength of your Elohim? What is the kingdom of your Elohim? And what is the power of his anointed one that would cause this man to be cast down? John 16:7 said, you can make it verse 4.
So, but these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, you may remember that I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. But now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you ask me, where go you? But because I have said these things unto you, sorrow hath filled your heart.
But
nevertheless, I tell you the truth.
It is expedient you that I what?
That I go away.
For if I go not away, what can't
the
happen?
Comforter will not come
There's the power of his anointed one. Now he's going to go into this in more detail. So that's the last element. That's the power of his anointed one. It's the comforter or the Ruach HaKodesh. What's the next thing?
So when I come, but if I depart, I will send him unto you. And when he has come, he will reprove the world of sin.
Pause. If you remember in Revelation 12, what did he say happened? He said the serpent wanted to devour the man-child. What happened to the man-child, Sylvia? He was caught up to where? And to sit where? And when he went up in the Shamaim, he took captivity captive and gave what? Continue on, sir.
Saying when he has come, he will reprove the world of sin.
He will reprove the world of what?
Of sin.
Why?
And of righteousness and of judgment.
Why?
Of sin because they believe not on me.
Of
righteousess because I go to my Abba.
Listen, next thing.
Me no more. Of judgment because the prince of this world is judged.
Boom, and that's when he cast down. So he said the prince of this world is judged. So what got the prince of this world judged? When he ascended on high, which means he had to do what? He had to go in the grave first. So pause that. Go to Ephesians 4. Pick me up at verse 6. Now we just dealing with the aspect. Now you see what I'm pinpointing on. Okay, this when he get kicked out. When Yahushua got the victory, boom, you lose, because he said the accuser of your brethren been cast down. What can we read in Job? He in heaven accused. So until this particular point, when this man is hung from this tree, buried, resurrected from the dead, and ascend on high, because remember Yahushua making a statement in John 16, he ain't died yet. You know what I'm talking about? So the prince of this world hasn't been judged yet. Once this man, because he said once the comforter come, the prince of this world is judged. Once that Ruach came, it's over for Satan. It's over for thou. What he said in Acts 10, he said to heal all those who were oppressed of the devil. Now you're what? He said, well, the Ruach of the, there's what? So there's freedom. So if you free among the dead, that means he ain't got no power because he came to destroy him to have power over death. That is the devil. If death's destroyed, guess what else is destroyed? Sin is destroyed. Therefore, get your maggot behind down here, and that's why he angry, and that's why you can see Peter saying he going through the earth to and fro, looking who he may devour, because now he ain't around here accusing like that, because he done lost, which is why he came with every element to try to tempt and persuade this man to not endure the adversity and take the easy way out. Go ahead, turn these stones into bread. Come on down here, bow down and worship me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and jump up off of here, man. You know the angels will catch you. You know what I'm saying? Because I need you not to accomplish the mission, because if you accomplish the mission, I lose. Now pause. Remember, we talked about this here, right? And Luke 4, I think it said Matthew 2. What did Satan say to him about the stones turning into bread? What was the first thing he said to him? Well, when he asked this question, I'm probably not framing that question properly. What you say, Lunchboy? No. Not what the Lord said, what that whole nigga said in his question. If you be the what? So if he know that, remember, because he got understanding the dark sentences, that means this nigga know. What did the unclean spirit say? I know who you are. You the son of God. So there's an understanding. Remember, right? Having understanding of something and having the ability to communicate the understanding of something is two different things. Because a lot of us, you might have understanding of certain mathematics, but that don't mean you can communicate it and teach it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got a lot of people, they might can be able to go in the gym and train themselves, but that don't mean they have the ability to communicate that understanding to somebody else. That's where a lot of people get messed up with dealing with the word in general. They think because they know some word that they have the ability to communicate understanding to someone else. You can be profitable to yourself and be unprofitable to others because you don't have the ability to communicate that information to where understanding is given. This is why I be very, very adamant about y'all being very specific and not broad. Broadness does not lead to understanding because it leads too much of a gap. You know what I'm saying? When you have a large area you got to cover, that don't really answer nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too general. So then, am I really going to understand this if it's a general answer where really I can read this and I might could draw 15 to 20 different conclusions? Or if I just be laser specific focus on this goes with this and this, that way I can understand what this is saying. That's why I say if you say a chapter, what verse you talking about? Because that's broad. Some of these chapters got 40, 50 verses in them. Now, of course, that's because we have verses to be able to use. Before you wouldn't have that. So then it would be, if we didn't have verses and chapters, then it would be like, okay, what verbiage are you referring to? Because you would need to be specific with the verbiage versus just saying, oh, the whole chapter. Well, what does that tell me? You know what that ends up happening when we do this? Because you've probably been on jobs or somewhere, even in school with somebody. This leaves it open to where you have to try to figure something out that you don't even understand to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So if I tell you, hey, what does this mean? Oh, that's Genesis 9. Now you have to go and do what? Read all of Genesis 9 and be left to your own devices to ascertain the answer to your question. You know what I'm saying? And that can be a difficult endeavor. You know what usually ends up happening? You're going to end up getting frustrated and you're probably going to stop. Or you're going to do what a lot of these niggas do. Not saying y'all would do that. You're going to make something up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's what a lot of people do. I'm just going to make something up. Sound good. It works. You know what I'm saying? Ephesians 4:6.
So one Elohim and Abba of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Amashiach.
Indeed.
Wherewith he saith, when he ascended up on high,
he took
captivity captive.
See, notice, captivity didn't get taken captive until he did what? Till he went on high. This is when he get kicked out. Now we're talking about it in regards to what we read in Revelation 12. Because now when he get up there, now because hold on, go back to Revelation 5, right? Whatever verse that, man. Read me verse 5. We didn't read Revelation 12. Daniel 12 and 7. We'll get to that in a moment. But read
saying, one of the elders said unto me, weep not.
Weep what?
Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed.
Pause. He have what?
Prevailed.
When did he prevail? When he rose from the dead and then he can ascend on high, he has prevailed. He is Naphtali at this point. But we can't say he prevailed until he hit the grave, resurrect, and ascend. Because once he ascended, that's when remember what we read in Revelation? It said, now the power of his anointed one. What did he tell his apostles? Stay here in Jerusalem till you be endued with power from on high. Because he said that I'm going to send the comforter and he's going to bear witness of me, because where is the power at? In the name of Yahushua. And that power is manifested where? In believing on him, as the scripture have said. So without him ascending, the power is not there. Once he ascends and captivity been taken captive, meaning he done destroyed him who had power over death, that is the devil. Oh, that whole nigga can go now. Yeah, you boom, get on up out of here. You was already gonna get up out of here, but now you're not here to accuse nobody. Now that goes back to the poison of the serpent. Now your wrath and indignation, now you letting that off on everybody else. Because like you said, he only got a short time. Now, when we look at it from the time period and man's time period that the Lord has ascended, that's a long time for us. But in the aspect of those who are outside the bounds of time as divine creatures are, oh, he already know he had but a little bit of time. He had but a little bit of time, and he trying to cause as much chaos as he possibly can. And that goes back to my initial point of, especially with men, effeminizing, emasculating, and over emotionalizing you to the point to where you won't be able to whoop him. You can't whoop Satan and you emotional. You know what I'm saying? And when I say this here, because according to the text, if you're emotional, what are you? You would be weak. That doesn't mean weak is forth as how we gonna look at weak. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm referring to. Because he said the Ruach is willing, said, but what? So that means in regards to overcoming sin, overcoming the adversary, overcoming the world, you can't be in the flesh, because in that battle, you would not be strong enough to win it, which means when he say the strength, he said salvation and strength. Well, what is strength? Trusting Yahuwah forever. For trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength, because he say, Paul wrote to you in Romans, what? That if you carnally minded, you die. And the carnal mind is not subject to the law of God, because it's enmity against it. It's hatred against it. So we're not talking about weakness, how people are, look at this weak old nigga. No, that's not what we're talking about. We talk about in a spiritual fight. If you are emotional, aka carnal, aka in your flesh, you're going to be weak. You will not be equipped enough to fight this man.
During that time of Job, he was able to go back and forth on earth.
They need, because they say, let's read that for him. Let's read that for him. Let's look at that. What it is. Job 1:1. Is it 1? It's not 1:1. It's 1:7. Read verse 6.
Okay, now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahuwah, and Hashatan came also among them.
See, notice, right? Because we know that the Malachim go in between. That they can be in the heavenly realm, and then they can manifest on earth, because we know that with Samson. We know that by seeing the Malachim on that ladder. So Satan had that same ability, but he could go back up. And that's why you go at, because what do we read that he doing when he went back up? He was accusing Job. What does Revelation 12 say he do? He accused, the accuser of our brethren has been cast down. That's what he said. So that means before this particular time, this man was in heaven accusing everybody regularly. Once the Lord overcame, he gets booted. Now, ain't no accusing. He's seeking to destroy. You know what I'm talking about? And he's going to try to take out as many souls as possible. That's why I told you, man, it's a war for souls out here. Man, it ain't no game. This man is out here waging war for souls every day. You know what I'm saying? And I know people don't like to hear it, but you cannot be emotional and win that war. You're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be an emotional creature and win that war. It's not possible. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have emotions, but when you have emotions that could be determined to be overwhelming per se, you have to rely on God in that instance. You're going to have, that's why I say, blessed is the man who trusts in Yahuwah, whose hope Yahuwah is. Now, of course, you know, for lack of a better terminology, for some people that's easier said than done, but I'm just giving the harsh reality of life, because it's something that I believe in doing, especially with children. You need to tell them the truth. When I say tell them the truth, I'm talking about telling the truth of the world that's outside, not the world that you would like it to be, not the world you wish it would be, not the world that you done created in your brain, but the world that they got to go out there and face for real. You know what I'm talking about? Because at the end of the day, that's what Yahushua did. He told you the realities of the world that you're going to have to go out there and face. You know what you're going to have to tell your children? When I seen a story with Tommy Davidson was talking about he was late. The son, I didn't know he was adopted, lived with a white family. He says, say mom dudes went off on the teacher, took him out of school. And I think what it was is his sister was late, and they didn't chastise his sister, but they chastised him. You know what I'm talking about? And he said his adopted mama looked him in the face and said, baby, you ain't good enough to be 15 minutes late. She was giving him the reality of the life that he lived in. Your sister can get away with that. You can't. You know what I'm saying? And he said mom dudes pretty much were crying to say this here, but she had to give him the reality of the world that he gonna face, because this white woman had enough sense to know this young man is not gonna face the same world that my white daughter gonna face. But you know what niggas like to do? We like to put fear, especially in the boy. Police gonna kill you. I'll never tell my son to be scared of none of these guys. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. Because no man in my life ever put that type of fear in my heart to be scared of the police. You know what I'm saying? Only thing my daddy told me in that regard is, son, boy, they more scared of you than you is of them. And he wasn't referring to me specifically. He would let me know these crackers be scared, boy. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no need for you to be scared of him. Because if you scared of him and he's scared of you, he gonna hurt you. Because you gonna be so scared not to do something that this whole nigga here gonna be scared, he gonna shoot you. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. He told me that when I was like 6 or 7, riding in that box Chevy. You don't know nothing about the box Chevy police cars.
Seen on TV.
I used to float with my daddy and his. You know what I'm talking about? That's a long time ago. Because this like 87, 88. I forgot when they went to the bubble Chevy. You used to ride in the box Chevy? But no, you too young for the box Chevy. You rode in the box Chevy police car? Your daddy didn't have a box Chevy police car? So he was, like I was saying, he was too young. I don't think my daddy drove the bubble Chevy, but I knew we definitely in the box. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what I'm saying? Like it come down to that though. You feel me? Like you can't win a spiritual battle operating in weakness. You know what I'm saying? This is why he said what? My strength is made perfect in weakness. Let's read that for him. He said, 2 Corinthians 12:9. He said, my grace or my loving kindness is sufficient for you. So when you lean into his loving kindness, that's where the strength can be derived from. What happens with a lot of time is people don't lean into that grace. Therefore, the strength is absent because you think you're going to fight that battle dolo. Go ahead.
And he said unto me,
Make it verse 7.
Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Hashatan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart.
Listen, he asked him for this to depart from me, because it's too much for me. But listen to what the Lord told him.
And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for you.
For my strength
is made perfect in weakness.
Tell him what grace is sufficient.
Grace is charis, that's grace, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, grace of speech or goodwill, loving kindness.
Loving kindness, goodwill, joy. Remember, the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. All these things that's attached to that definition of that word. He said that's sufficient for you, meaning that's all you need.
Sufficient is archeo, to be possessed of unfailing strength, to be strong, to suffice, to be enough.
That's enough. But you know what a lot of people, when they get, now I want you to read the definition of grace one more time. A lot of people don't deem that these things that he's about to enumerate into these definitions, that it's enough. But he said this is enough for you.
So you got grace. That which affords joy. Pleasure,
that which affords joy and pleasure. Remember,
delight.
Nehemiah 4:10, the joy of Yahuwah is your strength. What else?
And then you got delight, sweetness.
So pause. Now you got delight. That's kafas. Then you got sweetness. He said, truly delight is sweet. What else he say?
You got charm.
Loving kindness.
And loveliness. And you got goodwill, loving kindness, favor. And you got of the merciful kindness by which Elohim, exerting his Kadash influence upon souls, turns them to a Mashiach, keeps, strengthens, and increases them in the Christian faith, knowledge, affection, and kindles them to the exercise of the Christian virtues.
At the end of it, he said all those things. He said that's enough for you. But when we were talking about it last week, and I've always told you this here, when it comes to things like that with people, that's not enough for them. They want the gimmicks. What you mean I can't have this here? I can't. No, that ain't enough for people. That man say, my love and kindness, my joy, the things that I take pleasure in, that's enough for you. That ain't enough for a lot of people. But you know what that is, man? It was enough for Yahushua. That's why he got up on that tree. Because if it wasn't enough for him, he wouldn't have got up there. And if he wouldn't have got up there, then the accuser of your brethren wouldn't be cast down. And if he wouldn't be cast down, then captivity wouldn't be taken captive, and he still have power over death. So if it was enough for him, it has to be enough for us. And even in that instance, because we talked about it too many times over the course of time, when he was in a weak state, he relied on his God. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to remember to do. Now, I know I can say everybody human. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you to be walking like a robot and be like stuff not going to affect you or bother because you're a human being. Obviously, it bothered him. That man said he was depressed. I always focus in on that passage because that's real nigga conversation. That man said, I'm exceedingly sorrowful even unto death. That man said, I'm depressed to the point that I want to die. And most people have encountered somebody who was depressed to the point that they wanted to die. I ain't talking about that fake depression that niggas be talking about for attention. I'm talking about that type of depression to where niggas be ready to kill themselves because they can't turn their thoughts off because their thoughts is sucking all the life out their spirit. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's some real deal stuff. That's a real deal thing for the strongest man they ever encountered to look them in the face and say, boy, I'm exceedingly sorrowful, boy, even unto death. I want you to do me a favor, Sylvia. I want you to go to that Matthew 26 and give him exceedingly sorrowful by definition. I'm only saying that there because if this man can say that out of his mouth, then that means what? That you allowed to be able to say that out your mouth. You allowed to be able to have that thought, feeling, or emotion flow through your soul, flow through your spirit, but also understanding that I'm gonna lay my burdens down at the feet of you, or His grace is sufficient for you. Hey, boy, I ain't never seen you look like that before. Oh, you sliding too.
Sorrowful is paralupos, that is very sad, exceedingly sorrowful, overcome with sorrow so much as to cause one's death.
That's a strong amount of sorrow. You know what that's akin to is people whose spouse died and then they die right after that. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff happens. Look at these. That won't happen to me. Shoot, some people had kids that lived for too. They said, bump that jump.
Like they grown.
I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say a nigga died, be like, put me in there. Hell no, don't put me in there. I'm still alive. You put me in there, don't let me know. I don't want to know I'm in there. Yeah. When I go in that casket, it's already black. That means I don't know I'm there. Don't put me in there and I know. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there. I ain't gonna never tell that lie. Now, don't put me in there too. Hell no. No, don't put me in there. I ain't jumping in no hole. I ain't doing none of that. I seen some videos, some white woman jumped in the doggone in the grave. Well, they beat the brakes off that white horse. Yeah, they pulled out there and beat the brakes off that white woman. I don't know. I didn't know the background. You know how people share videos on Facebook and you just see it? They was at the funeral. She went to acting a fool, and baby jumped in the because they had just lowered the casket, and she jumped in the hole on the casket. To my no, boy, they pulled up out of there and beat the brakes off of her.
That is a mission.
I don't know what I can't speculate or speak on none of that. I just know they snatched her up out of there. Boy, they beat the brakes off of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she was inside.
What that was about. If I'm not mistaken, they looked like they was in Chicago, so I just chalked it up to Chicago. Now, you seen the video them niggas shot that car up and killed that girl? Man. But them niggas wasn't playing. They had already shot the car up before they got out the car. Them boys got out the car, shot that car up, got in the car, had the nerve to cut the turning signal on, to jump out the car and shoot that junk again. And you know what that girl got shot, see? Dissing the dead. On Facebook, selling out, talking about, I'd have posted a picture of your dead brother in his casket. But you can't talk like that in Chicago. Man, somebody will run down on you and catch you, man. She lucky that. That's how you know there's a God in heaven, because that baby ain't get a scratch. Not a bullet.
Oh, that was one of the baby was in the baby seat.
Yeah, the daddy got shot in the butt because he was probably covering the baby up. The woman was in the driver's seat. The place that got all the bullets, she was driving. Hell no, he ain't died. Shoot, we don't give a damn if he died. I think that what they said was they said like, oh, we know where your baby daddy be at. We gonna kill that nigga. Man, you can't be around here talking about. Cause see, we were talking about this yesterday. Cause the dude I know was like, man, take all the gang bangers and kill them. I say, damn, you was just crying about genocide in the Bible. Now you say you want to kill niggas? You bastard, you. But I mentioned that because I'm like, a lot of niggas think these young niggas just brainless. And I'm like, nah, it's more nuanced than that. They in an environment. I told him, like, bro, if your daddy is a GD, a BD, a Vice Lord, a P-Stone, you gonna be born into that. You ain't gonna really know anything other than that. So you get born into an inherited conflict. You know what I'm talking about? Now you got dudes you grew up with, live with, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third, and somebody done killed them. And now these young niggas is different because when I was young, you know, niggas didn't mock your dead homeboy. They mocking the nigga dead homeboy. I'm already upset he dead. We ain't probably even caught up with the person who did it. I'm going to take all this anger, resentment, wrath, vengeance out on you. And you on the outside looking in, they beasts, they animals. But nah, this person is in pain. And then and then the rules of engagement that they live by, they're being provoked. And they already want vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, like it ain't got to seem normal to us because that's not our life. If you not, know about that or been around that. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been around that, you know that's how the game goes. Because that's the life that they looked up, that they signed up for. Like we would tell them, man, it takes situations and circumstances, because I reference to him, I say, but if you listen to them people who talk about King Von, they say that man wasn't like that till he seen his homeboy get killed. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't know, clearly that situation did something to him to the point that anybody who affiliated with them niggas, I want their head. That's real easy for a nigga sitting on the sidelines who ain't experienced nothing like to be like, nah, he shouldn't be like that. That's you. You know what I'm saying? Clearly that nigga felt differently. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really pause it and look at the reality of it, except for one instance, that man was shooting at people who was in that game. You know what I'm talking about? See, if you ain't in that game, you ain't got them problems. But if you in that game, that's what come along with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they tell you not to get in that game. You know what I'm saying? He said, how do you lay your burdens down and leave them when you can't turn your mind off? Shoot, turn your mind off by having the mind of a mashal. You lay your burdens down by just simply letting them go. There's really no special trick to laying your burdens down. It's just simply letting them go. That's why they tell you in Hebrews 12, lay aside the weight and the sin that beset you, that you might run the race with patience. Putting your burdens down is a conscious decision that you have to make. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, it ain't really no special trick to it. It's just letting it go. When your mind is stayed on it, that means you ain't letting it go. That means when you, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that goes to the same point what I was talking about like years ago, like when Robin Williams killed himself, and they was like he was going to therapy every day, talking about the same stuff. And yeah, I'd kill myself too if I'm talking about bad stuff every day, 3 times a week for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at whatever's negative, look at it and say, you know what? It's over with now. I'm not thinking about this. I go back to my point earlier when I'd be like, oh, you women to come to a man, well, tell me about your fit. I don't want to talk about that. Because you want me to enumerate negativity over and over and over and over and over and over and over again ad nauseum and at length. And for what? And for what? Because if I've already had this conversation with myself, I don't need to have this conversation no more. Now, I know for the most part, a woman wants to be included, but you don't need to be included in every goddamn thing. Because the reality is, because this is where women come in and say, I'm not your therapist, but you beg for a nigga to do that. Then you find out that you are not mentally, emotionally, and spiritually equipped to deal with the things that a man has to carry. You know what I'm saying? But you begging for him to do that. But the reality is you can't carry that. And you don't want to carry that. Because if that's the case, the Lord would have gave you that doggone tree like we read in Judges 8, that tree to carry on your shoulder. You'd have had to say, you carry it. I can't do it. It's too heavy for me. Yeah, see, you see, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's easy to do when you're tired of carrying it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really that's something that can't nobody, because she just mentioned it's easier said than done. In reality, that's fair. But I mean, but but she's talking about more so burdens you carry that may develop from certain life situations and circumstances that you may experience. But regardless of what those burdens are, because everybody's burden's different, it really comes down to when you get tired of carrying it. You know what I'm saying? When you get tired of carrying it, you'll let it go. You ever did a farmer's walk? Yeah, you know what happened? You walk with that weight long enough, guess what you do? Drop it. And you don't drop it like gently and nicely. You let it go wherever it's standing. That's too much to carry. You ever walk around carrying sandbags? Lord have mercy, boy. Nigga, when I was in prison, they had us working somewhere down them 40-pound sandbags, man. Listen, that weight get too heavy, you drop him. You don't matter where you at, what you doing. You know what I'm saying? How far you are from the pile. I pick him back. I come back, get him later. But in all seriousness, it really just boiled down to when you get tired of carrying it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not an answer that anybody can give you. Because I can't tell you when you're fed up and you're tired of carrying it. Yeah, and see, when it gets to that breaking point, it's either going to destroy you or you're going to let it go. And unfortunately, I would say in most people, it destroyed them because they just don't want to let it go. But I look at certain stuff and, you know, and of course, there's extreme circumstances. Man, if stuff's happened in the past, man, you have to rationalize that and just move on. Just let it go. Now, I guess, like you said, now some people have... some people can do it a lot easier than others, which is why you say the strong have to support the weak. She said she's been tired for years. But I'm be honest with you, you ain't been tired enough. Because when you're tired, you stop. I say that in regards to, now, of course, I know your situation and circumstance, so that's a nuanced type of deal. Like, I know niggas, I'm tired of selling dope, but you still went out there and did it. You wasn't tired enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of getting high. You ain't tired enough because you still smoking. You still snorting. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas be like, I hate my life. I ain't doing this here. You ain't tired enough, nigga, because you ain't went after what you wanted to go after. Because, see, I seen your John that way, what Jason Black said, which is the truth, that a lot of niggas don't do nothing great in their life. You know what I'm saying? So they try to replace that with a woman, and you sit around miserable all your days. You know what I'm saying? Because it was things that you wanted to do, but you felt like a woman would be the proper replacement for that. And you know what you ended up finding? She ain't. Put that woman first. Now you on crack. Should he look like it? But now here it is. Now that's not what Jason Black was referring to. Was not ridiculing to a woman. It's saying that a lot of women don't realize you dealing with a dude who wanted more out of his life, but he felt like he couldn't get it, so he's using you as the substitute for what he wasn't willing to go out here and attempt to do. And that ain't no nigga you want. The same token that he mentioned in reverse, that a lot of women don't want a man who gonna challenge them. That's why a lot of women think they good women. Because you with niggas who want access to you, so they won't tell you that you're not as pleasant, driven, ambitious. You ain't really none of that. You're really mid or below average. You're really not that great of a woman that you think you are. You know what I'm talking about? But because this nigga want access to you, or because you don't want to mess with this nigga over here who really that nigga for real, who's going to demand and require that you do X, Y, Z, I just go over here with this nigga who want to sniff my pants. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that to be vulgar. I'm just telling you the truth. Because a lot of women know that. And I seen that when I was young. That woman don't want no nigga who going to challenge her and demand that she rise to the occasion. No, she don't want him. That's too much. I have to do something. I got this nigga over here. This nigga worship the ground. See, truth be told, that's why they like a Russell Wilson. That's why they like that type of art. That's why a lot of niggas don't know how to verbalize that, but that's why you hear so many niggas saying, like, we don't want to be like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be like him. And this nigga's achieved something in his life, which is the sad part. Because this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no socks. This nigga had a run. But at least a good 10-year run for him. His fall off was steep, but he had a good 10-year run. You know? No, I'm just saying that from a sports aspect, not on him as a man. No, I'm speaking of, I don't know that man as a man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about as far as sports is concerned, well, that boy had a good about 10, I can't even say 10-year run. He got about a good about 6 to 8. Because shoot, when they won that Super Bowl, man, shoot, it was about 10 years ago they won that. Oh, so he did have a 10-year run there. Yeah, he had about a good 10-year run. Well, he was considered at least top 7. You know what I'm saying? That boy was doing his thing. Then that boy fell off. Now that boy just straight trash. You know what I'm talking about? But you usually don't see a man with that level of drive and achievement be such a goofy. Shoot, might as well not. Shoot, I only think he got a 1-year deal. He with the Giants. He ain't finna play no more. No, he was quarterback for the Giants. That boy playing trash. They benched him for the white boy, who they drafted in the first round, and the white boy was semi-decent. No, that man ain't played for the Seahawks in about 5 years. That man played 2 years for the Broncos, 1 year in Pittsburgh, 1 year in New York. Now he's finna be on CBS. That's where you going. Hopefully he has the personality for it. Because if he's bland as they say he is, then he ain't gonna be on TV long. He didn't seem that bad when they had him on the NFL Today, the couple clips I seen. But yeah, if his personality is as they claim it to be, he ain't gonna be on TV long. It's over. It's over. That nigga career is over. Over for thou. Over and more over. Huh? Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, his career's over. It's over with. There's nobody in the National Football League that's going to look at Russell Wilson and say, I need him to be my starting quarterback. And it's not no disrespect. It happens in every player's career where it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, people look at that as that's a negative, but like you dissing him, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? He done got about a good almost 20-year run. That's damn good. Average NFL career, 3 years. So he beat that by about 5. Yeah, shoot. So he got about 80 mil out the deal. Shoot. Can't be mad. But like I say, man, hey, he fulfilled what he wanted to do as a child. And he did it for longer than most people gonna do it. So there's no shame in that. But it's trick. Look here, man, they did it to Joe Montana, nigga, and he ain't no Joe Montana. Hell, they did it to Tom Brady. Boy, New England said, hey, man, but specifically, shoot, both of them really, you got to go, cuz. We feel like you butt now. We're going to replace you. Like the NFL don't give a damn who you are. They know, we appreciate you. Yeah, somebody younger and better coming to take your place. We'll holler at you. Especially if you ain't playing well. And Russell ain't playing well. Come on, man. My God, today. Where you at?
You want that Daniel 12 and 7?
Yeah, run that. But yeah, Mika, that's all it is, though, right? Shoot. We can, as we read Daniel 12 and 7, we can read Hebrews 12 and 1. Because, laying down burdens is a conscious decision for the burden carrier. Nobody else can really influence you to do that. Ain't really nothing anybody can say to get you to do it. It's just got to be a decision that you have to make. People can help you along the way, be there for you, be a support system, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Because that those burdens that we carry, it really stop you from getting where you want to be at. But see, what I was mentioning that for about the aspect of what Jason Black would mention on the spiritual side of things, and then we'll go finish Ephesians 4 after this Daniel 12 and Hebrews 12 and conclude out in Revelation 12 because, shoot, Johnny's question really did ran that out, but it wasn't bad because it got us to where we needed to get at, to another aspect. But it's the same thing with the word. A lot of people don't want to be with Yahushua because Yahushua going to challenge them to be a certain type of individual. So I'd rather go over here where there is no challenge. So the difference in that is okay, I'd rather congregate over here or go fellowship over here where nobody is going to challenge me to meet this. Because I don't actually want to become that. You know what I'm saying? Just like some people get in the word and they become complacent, you know what I'm saying? And be like, well, we were talking about, like, hey, man, like, what you got going on, bro? So you ain't doing nothing significant with your life. You just been showing up every week for 15 years and you still the same nigga and you trying to replace it with something else to placate you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Go ahead.
And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand on the Shamaim, and swear by him that lived forever, that it shall be for times, and half a time. Mm-hmm. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the Kadash people, all these things shall be finished. Mm-hmm. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said, when he accomplished to scatter the power of the Kadash people, then it'll be over with. This thing won't be over till your power is scattered. That's why you're coming back to Zion with your face down to the ground
asking for the way there. You know what I'm saying? Daniel 12:7. Well, now we're in Hebrews 12:1.
Wherefore, seeing we are so compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which do so easily.
Let us do what?
Let us lay aside every weight
and the
sin which
that's
do
so
easily beset
and
us,
let us what?
run with patience the race that is set before us.
Like I said, I know it sounds like simple, but it's really that simple is to let it go. You know what I'm saying? I would say, at least in the word, it's a lot of stuff that we overcomplicate things when really it's just as simple as, my man Obi say this all the time, action takers are money makers. You know what I'm saying? So the first step to success is taking the action, and that's letting it go. Setting it to the side because it's holding you up. You know what I'm talking about? And that don't matter what it is. It don't have to be extreme situations or circumstances, but anything you carrying that's a hinder to you mentally or spiritually, it's going to hold you up. It's going to stop you. You know what I'm talking about? And you ain't going to actually be able to get to where you want to go at because you're carrying a weight. You ever ran with a weighted backpack before? I haven't, because I don't even need to do that. You know what I'm saying? But if you run around with 50, 60 pounds on your back, that's different from running with nothing on your back. You know what I'm saying? You're a little freer, a little better movement. But it's as simple as just taking the backpack off. You know what I'm saying? Some things, like you said, don't let the serpent corrupt us from the simplicity that's in the Mashiach. Some things ain't, you're welcome, man. Some things ain't as complex as we think they are. It's just really, same way that Elisha told Naaman the Syrian, hey man, just go bathe in the Jordan. Man, I thought you was going, no, it was just really as simple as you going to bathe in the Jordan. Because if I would have told you this, that, there, and the third, you would have went and did that. So if I'm just telling you go bathe in the Jordan, it's the same thing. Like, I don't really have no specialty thing to say. It's really just let it go. Now, it seemed difficult when you hear it in your brain, but when you actually do it, you realize it wasn't that difficult all along. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really come to that realization until you actually let it go. Because before you let it go, it feels like that this is the most difficult thing that you'll ever do your entire life. But when you actually let it go, you look back and realize it wasn't as difficult as I was making it out in my mind that it was. Because it's really our mind that's making us believe, you can't let that go. This is going to be hard. You got to do this and you got to do that. And then you realize it's just shoot. I've told people before, man, if you're carrying baggage from other people, pull up on them and say, here's your luggage. You can take that back. I don't need it no more. You know what I'm saying? Well, what we be looking for is apologies and closure. I don't need all that. You need all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving back. That's your stuff. I don't want it no more. Come on with it, Sabo. Back to Ephesians 4:6.
I got a book about that, like, say your brain don't want to do nothing new because it's used to the old.
The patterns. That's why the Lord say, hold on. Get him Luke 5, man. 30. That's why the Lord said this right here, because he already knew how your brain works. Because human beings, especially if you talk about traumatic things, your brain get wired to operate in that particular scenario and circumstance. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why they say human beings are creatures of habit and don't like change. But come on with it.
So, but the scribes and the Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, why do you eat and drink with publicans and sinners?
Oh, I got you in the wrong place. Oh, yeah, definitely got you in the wrong place. Verse 33. Luke 5:33.
Saying, they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers, and likewise the disciples of Pharisees, but yours eat and drink? And he said unto them, can you make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them?
Mm-hmm.
But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days.
And he spake,
Also a parable unto them,
no man,
put a piece of new garment upon an old.
if otherwise,
And both the new make a rent,
and the piece,
that was taken out of the new agree not with the old.
and no man,
put new wine into old bottles,
else the new wine
will burst the bottles,
and be spilled,
and the bottles shall perish.
both the new wine, but the new wine
Must be put into new bottles,
and both,
are preserved.
no man,
Having drunk old wine,
straightway,
desire new.
for he say,
The old is better.
now she just mentioned trying to rewire is extremely difficult. But this is the component what he's talking about, and it's really being born again. You know what I'm saying? Or like it said, let this mind be in you, the mind of Yahushua HaMashiach. The way that we wire is to be born of the word. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's really as simple as that. You know what I'm talking about? Because once you take on the mind of God, the old mind doesn't have room to exist. You know what I'm talking about? Now, don't get it twisted. You'll have battles because your flesh will well up, but that goes back to letting the power of and the strength of God actually rule. You know what I'm saying? That's what it come down to. Just got to take on the mind of Mashiach. If you take his mind on, ain't no room. Come on with it, man.
Ephesians 4:6.
Yeah,
Say one Elohim and Abba of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Hamashiach.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men.
Go ahead.
Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all Shamaim, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work.
That's good. So let's go back to Revelation 12. You can read verse 7 again.
Saying there was war in Shamaim, Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in Shamaim.
Mm-hmm.
The great serpent was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in Shamaim, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of his Mashiach. But the accuser of our brethren is cast
Because
down.
remember what they went to preach after he resurrected, man, is in ascended. Now they preaching the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
Saying which accused them before our Elohim day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Let's go back to John 16 and 7, and we'll stop at that, man. Let's see how that worked, Lil Johnny. That you will be esteemed.
And say, nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin, and of righteousness, and of judgment. Of sin, because they believe not on me. Of righteousness, because I go to my Abba, and you see me no more. Of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged.
The prince of this world is judged.
I have yet many things to
That's
say.
good. Read them Hebrews 2 and 11, man. 2 and 10, and we'll stop it right. After that, we'll read Hebrews 2 and 10. Hit this Philippians 2 and 5 and 1 Peter 4 and 1 in regards and John 3 in regards to making a new mind. Let's just read the passages that pertain to that. Of course, you know in Ezekiel it tell you to make a new heart and a new spirit. We know in 2 Corinthians 5 you say if you be in the Mashiach, you be a new creature. So the reality of it is we have to be born of the word. We have to replace our mind with the mind of God, which would mean that we would have to mortify ourselves.
I said, for it has become him for whom are all things, and by him are all things, and bringing many sons unto esteem, to make the captain of salvation
Perfect.
through suffering.
What else?
For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified are
All
of one.
For which cause?
He is not ashamed to call them brethren.
What else?
Saying, I'll declare your name unto my brethren. In the midst of the assembly will I sing praise unto
Go
you.
ahead.
And again, I'll put my trust in him. And again, behold, and the children which Elohim have given me.
Go ahead.
For as much as then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same. Through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil.
Say that again.
And say, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood,
He
also
likewise
took part of the same,
that he might,
that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is devil.
and that's how you sit back and you see this how the accuser get cast down. That's why he was trying to stop him. See, he was trying to kill him as a baby to stop him from completing the task. Because if he don't complete the task, I mean, if he don't fulfill the book, the power of God don't come, he don't get judged. See, Satan doesn't get judged till Yahushua dies, resurrects, and ascends. Now, Satan is judged. It's over for you, cuz. Why? Because he said he condemned sinful flesh in the flesh. Now it's over. It's over. Go to Philippians 2 and 5.
Let this mind be in you, which is also in the Mashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of Elohim thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim, but made himself of no reputation.
So notice he say, hey, let his mind be in you, that you're not taking away anything from God by being in his likeness. What else?
Yeah, but made himself of no reputation.
You don't make yourself of no reputation, but take on yourself what?
In the form of a servant.
And what else?
Made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death.
So part of the thing about rewiring the brain is humbling yourself, becoming a servant under God, and humbling yourself even to the point of being willing to die. Let's go to 1 Peter 4:1. Now, these are actually decisions that have to be made inwardly by each individual. It's not something that there's no word necessarily that can be said. There's no motivation necessarily that can be given. You feel me? It has to be something that individual person looks themselves in the mirror and says, this is what I'm going to do.
For as much then as the Mashiach have suffered for us in the flesh,
likewise,
arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin, that he should no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men.
Now, Paul, now this is what I'm going to tell you, right? This is I have to make sure that I use my words carefully. A lot of the negative thoughts and feelings and emotions that we have from previous life experiences is causing you to serve in the flesh because you're making life decisions and you making choices that are going to be carnal based off of those particular experiences. You know what I'm talking about? Read that part again. First Peter 4:1. I want you to understand what I'm trying to communicate.
Say, for as much then as the Mashiach have suffered for us in the flesh,
likewise,
arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Because
for he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
Now, to arm yourself with that mind to see what we don't realize is the suffering in the flesh to cease from sin. You thinking, well, how is me having thoughts about particular situations and circumstances that I may have encountered making me sin? It could be because you're not doing things according to faith, or you make decisions according to those said situations or circumstances that happen to you, which is allowing you to operate in the flesh and not in the ruach, therefore remaining in consistent and constant bondage. You know what I'm saying? Not bondage to sin per se, but yet it is sin, but bondage to your own flesh. You know what I'm saying? You don't even realize your carnal mind is wanting you to never be free. So that's why it moves to convince yourself that you'll never be free and that you would always have to be held hostage to this person, this circumstances, these words, this event, whatever the case may be. Read me Romans 8:5.
Say, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the ruach, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and shalom. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim, for it is not subject to the law of Elohim.
Pause. Now, what we don't be realizing is the things that we done experienced that are of a negative fashion. You may not set out to do things that are of enmity against God, but those thoughts, feelings, and emotions will lead you down that road. And it'll lead you down that road without you even realizing that that's what occurred. You know what I'm saying? And then what ends up happening is it metastasizes, because now this situation and circumstances is leading you to walk down a road that have you contrary to God, and now you feel 3, 4, 5, 6 times as worse about yourself because you done did it, and then your brain is constantly feeding this negativity on a constant loop, and you just stay there. You know what I'm saying? And these are the workings and machinations of the adversary all the way around the board. Because the adversary in your flesh wants you to believe that it's not as simple as laying it down. It's not as simple as just changing your thoughts. Because the book tells you, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think a certain particular type of way, then that's exactly what you're going to be. So if you take on the mind of a Mashiach, then you're going to think as a Mashiach thought. And there's no way that he would be able to touch you. Say, big facts, I peeped that about myself a while back, some years ago. That's when I knew I wasn't serving Yahuwah correctly. I'm telling you now, I would like to say it right, because the human mind is a very, very fascinating thing that the Most High has created. You know what I'm talking about? And It can really lead you down a road without you realizing you down that road, and then Satan ain't gonna do nothing but try to reinforce what you already feel about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Which meaning that we allow people, situations, and circumstances to have power over you than the word of God having power over you. And that's what he bank on. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, he don't want you to believe it's as simple as just letting it go. Look at man, it could be the same to say if you, and I'm just using something simple. It could be just the same with people who smoke weed. He'll want you to believe that you could never stop smoking weed when it was easy as simply just stopping. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't thinking it that way because you convincing yourself that it's not as easy as just stopping. But when you actually stop, you realize it was as easy as just stopping. That I made a conscious decision that, no, I'm not doing that no more. And that's it. And that's the end of it. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of times the reason why it don't be as simple as stopping, because you keep thinking. See, I'm not one of them people who be like, it's been 7 years since I smoked. Why you even count? You know what I'm saying? It's over with. I'm not reminiscing on how long it's been, how many, who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? Now, when you're dealing with traumatic experiences, that's different. Obviously, because we've looked at it, you know that traumatic experiences rewire your brain. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different caveat. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say there's nuance to that. But in that rewiring, Satan would want you to believe that you have to always think like this. And you have to always feel like this. And you just can't get past this, and you can't just let that go. And that's where the stuff roll up at, like we read in Romans last night, with maliciousness and spitefulness and resentment and all this other type stuff well up. And that's not of God, and that's where he wants you at. Because he don't want you to be at, like it would have said in Colossians, you know, the elect of God have bowels of mercy, forbearing one another, forgiving one another. This because you can't have that if you with that. Because that's a part of the, depending on the situation or circumstance to occur to somebody, that's part of the reason why nigga can't let it go, because you can't forgive and let it go. You got to dwell on it. You got to hold a grudge. This, that, and the third. You can't let it go, move past it. I'm glad before I got in the word, man, I ain't never held on to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't nothing to hold on to. Because it ain't hurting nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? Once you realize that whatever it is that we holding on to is really only affecting you and your peace of mind in your life, then you'll start to realize, why the hell am I still carrying this? Yeah, it do. And she just referring to it sound easier said than done. But it is easy to do, but we have to allow ourselves to be able to do it. That's where the difficulty come in at. We don't allow ourselves the ability to do it. Because the act in and of itself is not difficult. But getting to perform the act, that's where the difficulty come in at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You won't be pondering upon that. Because there's people who've experienced all type of things. You know what I'm saying? It took some time, but they got there. But there has to be the desire to get there. But that's dealing with anxiety and worry. More so than but you can still use that. You know what I'm saying? But explicitly, because he say be careful for nothing, to be anxious or worry about nothing. But then again, the reality is, if it's certain things that happen to you, you do start to develop some type of anxiety or fear as it pertains to that. And usually that fear is rooted in you've identified yourself based off whatever may have occurred to you. So a lot of times the fear come in at, well, who will I be if I let this go? Because a lot of times what happened to you, you don't get the chance to develop and find out who you are. So who you are has been what has happened to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fearful thing, because that's really what really be making it difficult for people to let it go, because then who am I? I don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because usually, hopefully you find out who you are in your early 20s. You know what I'm saying? To say, as much as we don't like hearing it, really is as easy as letting it go. It is. It really is. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that'd be the flesh and your adversary convincing you that it's not that easy. It can, in some circumstances, unbelief can play a role in it. Sometimes I don't think it's unbelief in God. It's kind of like what they said in that song that my soul refused to be comforted. Because you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, that's why he say he know your frame, but you but dust and ashes. So sometimes it can be unbelief, and sometimes it's because you're human. And as much as this man trying to comfort you, you turning it down. Not because you don't believe that he can comfort you, but because whatever pain or circumstance or tribulation you dealing with is not allowing you to receive the comfort. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me find that verse, man. Where you at, Silvo?
Romans 8.
Oh, you read what I needed to read. Read John 3 and 5 for me.
Yahushua answered, truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born of water and of the Ruach, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the Ruach is Ruach. Marvel not that I said unto you, you must be born again. The wind blow where it lists, and you hear the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it comes and where it goes. So
That's
is
right.
the one that is born of the Ruach. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Yahushua answered and said unto him, are you a master of Yasharal and know not these things?
That's good. Now, she just mentioned anxiety and fear can be embedded coming from someone who has panic and anxiety attacks and don't always know why. Now you can read Philippians 4 and 8, because that's when that come into mind. To deal with that anxiety, and I take you back to Jeremiah 17 and 7. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahuwah, who hope Yahuwah is. And he said he'll be careful for nothing. He'll remove the anxiety. And that's why he say perfect love cast out fear. Because anxiety ain't nothing but fear. So you have to perfect your love in God, and the fear will be removed. Yeah, it is. It's anxiety. Cast all your worries. That's why he said the same thing in Matthew when he said, take no thought for your life. So it's anything that you anxious about, fearful about, worry about, you got to deliver that over to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you just come into that you don't allow you don't allow anxiety and fear to rule you. But that's why he said perfect love cast out fear. So the first aspect that we want to look at with what's perfect love is trusting Yahuwah. For blessed is he who trusts in Yahuwah, whose hope Yahuwah is. That's where that don't necessarily be a situation of unbelief. It'd be like some of the people said, increase my faith. Your faith has to be increased, and that stuff would be removed. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Philippians 4 and 8.
Say, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest.
I'll make it 4 and 5. It's probably verse 6, but 5 is fine.
Say, let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing.
Be anxious for nothing.
But in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made.
So pause. The first thing to be able to help deal with anxiety is prayer. And what else?
Supplication.
Prayers and requests to God. So one of the aspects that'll help get rid of that anxiety and fear and things of that nature is you would probably have to pray exponentially more often than you do now. And you probably would have to fast. Because this is going to take you to what? He keep him in perfect peace who mind is stayed on you because you trusted in him, for trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength. You know what I'm saying? These are the actionable steps that the text is laying out to be done. Read it again.
Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known on the
key point is those requests have to be made with thanksgiving. See, a lot of people, they don't want, if they don't get the request, they ain't thankful. Not saying that's the case on your end, but we just talking about in general. Go ahead.
Saying the shalom of Elohim, which pass all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Mashiach Yahushua.
Keep your hearts and mind and what?
Through
so when you do that, he said this man will keep your heart and your mind with the Son of God, which means you would be in the Word and you would have the mind of a Mashiach. Hold on. She said it's crazy. I have that verse tattooed, but I'm working on get there therapy, and I'm sure do I need to pray much more. See, and this this is what we get twisted up at. This is why I tell you, don't never call nobody and say send me a Bible verse. You know what I'm saying? Because this and that's not her fault. That's how we get in this particular society that people think just give me a verse, or you put a verse on you. You know what I'm saying? But it's not in you. It had to be in you. You know what I'm saying? Then it can actually take root to when you face a life situation and know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Like finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure.
Think on those things. Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
So all those things, and I don't even know if you've seen that there, because little Johnny made that database where you can type that in. Like if you go in there and type that in, you'll see whatever video we done did where we went through all that in depth. Or what that means when you say think of those things that are pure, those things that are honest, those things that are just. Because that's what you have to do when anxiety wells up. When fear wells up. Give him 1 John 4:20, and then what you call it? What you call it? Oh, go on. Oh, Jeremiah 17:7. Because again, and then none of these things are negative. The reason why these verses, the reason why Paul is even instructing the assembly in Philippi to do this, because you're a human being. You don't see, I mention this here because this is a difference with niggas who in the word versus people who writing in this book, right? Niggas who in the word now were ridiculed for the things that he was giving these people actionable steps to see how to deal with, because you're dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like this, oh, that nigga don't believe for real. She got anxiety. You got to be the weirdest nigga in the world to even think like that. But people do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? No matter what affiliation they claim, whether Christian denomination, Hebrew camp, assembly, people do this because they feel like once you get in the word that now you have no longer space to feel anything that a human being would feel, or the fact that, yes, it's possible for you to be in the word and anxiety come up from time to time. This is why he's telling these people what to do, so that you can perfect your love to where it don't take root no more. 1 John 4:20.
He said, if a man say, I love Elohim and hate his brother, he is a liar. He that love not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love Elohim whom he have not seen?
Hold on. See, I feel like that you have to be with and surround yourself with people that are stronger than you in that area. Like for me, I can't be with an anxious person because of my weakness. And then and that's self-awareness. That's self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know you have anxiousness, and then sometimes, and like you mentioned with therapy, if you need therapy, some people might be able to do it themselves. That's when you have to figure out where is the root of the anxiety. Like I told you, I was talking to my brother. My brother was like, he got booked in the hospital, or the doctor told him something about anxiety. And I was telling him like, yeah, man, I was thinking I was having a heart attack. These people told me it was a panic attack. And I'm like, nigga, in my brain, I wasn't panicked. You know what I'm talking about? And he was like, bro, that's something that might be on our side of the family. I'm like, word? Because I'm like, nigga, that junk was weird. You know what I'm saying? But then I looked and seen that it said that anxiety can rise, at least in my situation, when you have high blood pressure, and then you have to check your blood pressure, and then anxiety rises because if it's high, then you got to, man, I got to deal with this, I got to deal with that, I got to deal with this and deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, that junk will spike it. Then once it gets spiked and it's elevated, then it's like your body go to fight or flight, and then once your body's in fight or flight, panic attack symptoms mirror a heart attack. Which I ain't never know none of that. You know what I'm saying? I told them crackers offered me a pill for that. I said, oh no, I'm good on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, because man, I ain't never dealt with none of this junk before. I'm like, so shoot, I feel like I know the symptoms for a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling all of them. So I'm like, goddamn. On top of it, man, we just left the goddamn hospital. Especially when I'm sitting in a situation, I'm looking at, boy, my blood pressure 242 over 113. So I'm like, okay, you finna die here today. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not just high. That's you finna have a stroke. You know what I'm saying? It's not if you finna have a stroke. It's when you finna have a stroke. You know what I'm saying? But even in that instance, it wasn't no whole, at least not consciously. You know what I'm talking about? Anything sliding through my brain. As I told you a couple weeks ago, whatever, it was right before we moved. I literally seen white waves. And I'm like, okay, you finna die right here today. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even nervous then. It was just like, okay, your heart rate's elevated. You seeing white waves float in your face. These are signs of a stroke. Okay, you finna die on this toilet. Because I wasn't using the toilet. I sat down once I started seeing the waves. You know what I'm saying? You know how like you see stars? Mm-hmm. Now, when I thought about dying on the toilet, I told her I think about Miss Conner. Y'all have mercy on her soul because she had a stroke on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Then one day I was in the gym, bro, doing 10 sets, doing 10 reps of 135 pounds on a deadlift with nothing. Well, I thought I was finna die in the gym that day because my heart rate was so doggone accelerated. I ain't never felt like that for in my life. Then you know what I seen not too recently? Kylie Muscle having cardiac arrest right in the doggone gym. Now, cardiac arrest is different from a heart attack. You know the difference?
I don't remember. They definitely explained it to me.
A heart attack is blockages. Cardiac arrest is your heart just stopped. You know what I'm saying? It just stopped. I'm talking about, boy, that nigga fell and hit his head. But my doctor did tell me, like, hey, man, certain movements and certain things. When I first went back to the gym, he said you can't go that hard because it'll elevate your blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? Now, this well after I done left, so I ain't thinking nothing about no, hold on a second. I ain't thinking about no 10 reps gonna do nothing to me, but I'm talking about, boy, that junk had me gassed, and that junk had my heart rate up for the entire day. What's up?
What is the elevate? Some blood pressure?
There's a certain rate that your blood vessels pump blood through your body. So when you have high blood pressure, that means your heart has to work harder to pump the blood through your body, which can lead to a multitude of things. Like I just seen a dude had a aortic dissection, which high blood pressure lead to that. That's when one of your arteries split and it start leaking blood in your chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, right now I got 3 chronic diseases. You know what I'm saying? I'm pre-diabetic, I got hypertension, and I got chronic kidney disease. All that junk comes from high blood pressure. Man, high blood pressure lead to a whole bunch of junk, man. How you out here down bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, they did tell me that I be having foamy urine. That junk could come from either diabetes or it don't even matter what it comes from. That just means, hey, your kidney's not filtering stuff properly. So it really don't matter what causing it. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't doing what it's supposed to do. But I mention that because stuff like that, even with health stuff, that junk cause anxiety in people. You get this. I mention that because when I went in there, I'm just thinking, shoot, nigga, I don't want to fall out and die in front of the churn. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a situation where I just resolve a lot of ways. If you finna die, you finna die. Like, what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm sitting here seeing this here, and I'm thinking, okay, you finna have a stroke, you finna die. Because if I fall out, ain't nobody gonna be in here to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just finna be dead. And it just is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I did read something on what you can do if you have a heart attack when you're by yourself. But if you have cardiac arrest, if a nigga don't know how to do CPR, you dead. Because heart attack means, you know what I'm saying? You can survive a heart attack. I think Kylie said he had a widowmaker heart attack. I forget what the details on it. You look at it. You ever heard of that before? A widowmaker? Because they say that's a heart attack where you ain't bouncing back. You say your blood pressure used to be that in that range on the regular. Now my herbalist and my doctor told me my blood pressure may not actually been that high because I got so much muscle mass on my arm. They said it'd be hard for them to get a proper read.
Say a widowmaker heart attack is a critical, often fatal medical emergency. 100% blockage in the left anterior descending artery, which supplies blood to a major portion of the heart. The widowmaker blockage typically causes sudden, severe symptoms like chest pressure, pain, shortness of breath, leading to rapid death if not treated immediately.
Yeah, that's what he's. But you ain't see that. I seen that video. That nigga was in there. I think he had just did a set. That boy stood up, and then that boy body just tensed up, and he hit the ground. I was like, damn. But he said he went into cardiac arrest. But he had already had a widowmaker heart attack. And I was just reading about Black Rob because he popped up in one of them doggone playlists on Apple Music. That man said that man had 4 strokes before he died in the last 5 years of his life. And he died from cardiac arrest. And he was only 52 years old. You look at Phife Dawg, he died from diabetes. Man, a lot of them niggas be dying from that junk.
Say outside the hospital, survival rates are low, roughly 12%. But survival is high if treated within the first 90 minutes.
You say you deal with hypochondria on top of everything you've been through? Now see that hypochondria, I know that's something else. Come on and read You read 1 John 4 and 2? Did we read what we supposed to read?
I don't know if that's what you were looking for.
I don't think it was. Read me 19.
Yeah, that's probably what you
1 John 4 and 19.
18.
18. 1 John 4 and 19.
There's no fear in love.
There's no fear in
And love
perfect love.
cast out fear, because fear hath torment.
Fear have what?
Torment.
Go
He
ahead.
that fear is not made perfect in love.
So we have to get rid of that fear so we're not tormented no more. You know what I'm saying? Come on and give me Jeremiah 17 and 7 when we out of here, man. 'Cause I got the urinate.
Say, Baruch is the man that trusts in Yahuwah, and whose hope Yahuwah is.
Go ahead.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, that spread out her roots by the rivers.
Mm-hmm.
You shall not see when heat comes, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. Neither
See that
shall
word careful mean no anxiety.
neither shall it cease from yielding fruit.
Neither. Hold on. Give him this Matthew, man. Where is that, man? There it is. Or do we need to look at it in Luke? Give him Matthew 6 and 25, because it's talking about that anxiety.
That's all taken off your lunch.
Yeah, man. And that's probably some of the passages we done dealt with when we looked at it before. But you know, it's normal stuff. But what it come down to, Mika, for real, is the fear. You just can't let the fear have power no more. Because as long as the fear got power, Satan got power. Take away the fear, Satan ain't got no power.
Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Abba feed them. Are you not much better than they?
That's right.
Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit into his stature?
Ain't no one thought that any of us can take that can add 1 cubit to your stature.
And why take you thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil
Hey,
not,
hey.
neither do
Come
they
in here with
spend. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his esteem was not arrayed like one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, if Elohim so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast
Praise
into
you,
the
Lord,
oven,
Sister Regina. Shalom.
shall he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith?
That's good, man. Hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Prayerfully, that helps somebody in that regard, but you know, it is what it is. You just got to keep on punching. That's what my brother from Philly used to say all the time. What's up, young man?
The guy that you said who dropped in the gym, is he still alive?
Yes, he did. He's still alive. Yeah, they was able to bring him back. Yes, sir.
It's just so much.
How you doing? All right.
Did everybody stay up and get up and do this?
They all right. You just want to be in my camera. On your back. What's up, bro?
Just like your
You all
brother.
right? Come on, boy.
Yeah, some cheese.
Here's my baby. Huh?
Don't be a kitty cat.
What's up, bro?
Hug him. Don't be a kitty cat.
Muffin man. Hold on, bro. I'm trying to get this thing set up. What's up, bro? Muffin man. What's up with you, bro? What's up, nephew?
My hair shakes fast.
Amen, man. Love you too, bro. What's up, bro? All right, y'all. Let me get on out of here. You who are Baruch, Mika. He said he believed it is.
So much. You do not know how much I